Did you know voice actors are really good at or? Oh, sorry, I'll take that later.
Welcome to welcome to Late Night Take 3. It wouldn't be late night without Matt just saying something just as we go
Why do
live.
you guys always go live whenever I'm in the middle of telling stories that aren't exactly appropriate for?
But Ed, I mean, depending on what the voice role requires, I mean, it might be. But never mind. But that being said,
Hashtag Malcolm
got-
is going to be canceled.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a theme at this point. I was canceled like 3 weeks
Manning, you
ago.
have
So.
echo.
I have an echo?
Yeah.
Hashtag cancel Manning's Echo.
but that being said, we got a great panel here. Over to the left, we got Matt. Matt, how's it going?
It's going good. It's been a while since we've done late night, I feel like, or at least since I've been on late night. I'm happy. I'm pretty excited about the topic because I love voice acting. When I was in middle school, I wanted to be a voice actor, so like I sort of like delved deep into all the different like famous like Mel Blancs and the Jim Cummings and all that. So I'm really excited. I know Malcolm. He shared something in the Take 3 chat, so I know what he's got set up, and I'm not looking forward to what we're gonna have to do tonight. But I'm excited to be here.
But also here we've got Aaron. Aaron, how's it going?
Good. Thank you for having me on. It's like a weird family reunion with a bunch of people I like sort of recognize and now I'm finally talking to. Nice to be with you guys. Thank you.
It's like the
also-
weirdest family wedding. It's like, I think I related to them. I think.
Also here, he is still standing. It is Abe. Abe, how's it going?
Hi, Aaron. I actually edited your first magic.
Abe,
Abe?
you sound
Doing
like
a
a robot.
Megatron impression.
Yeah, I do.
Really? Well, let me see one mic.
We are the Borg.
Okay, how does mine sound now?
Yours sounds fine. Abe, wait, Abe,
okay,
try
good.
talking. Just say we are the Borg. Just in case your fingers.
We love work.
Fuck!
That's good.
I should have asked that earlier. Of course, now it's working.
I actually just they posted a link, and I was about to sleep, but I say, well, why aren't they coming for a while? Also, I have no idea about performances, like voice performances in English, because I grew up watching all the movies in Spanish. So
Yeah,
I don't
true.
have
Abe
any
wouldn't be
record.
able to
All your
compete in this
movies?
thing.
Well, most of them, like, I got older, like, I started to watch animated movies, like, in English, just to know how they sounded.
The thing that messed me up the most was I asked Abe, I was like, so in Toy Story 3, does Buzz start speaking English? And he's like, no, he's supposed to speak in Spanish. I was like, bullshit!
No, he speaks, like, Spanish. Like, he has an accent, like a Spanish accent.
A Span Texan?
No, and a Spanish accent. Like, from
Uh-huh.
Spain, not like from Latin America, right?
Okay.
He's from
Okay,
Spain.
interesting.
But last but not least, we got Manning. Manning, how's it going?
It is good. I'm legit watching. I had to turn it off because I think I realized where the echo was coming from. I can't have both on. I was watching Mortal Kombat for the first time because it leaves HBO Max tonight, and I've been putting it off for so long, so I decided to watch it real fast.
does,
Get
yeah.
off of this
Uh,
stream and finish Mortal Kombat!
Yeah,
Get
no, because I wanted to do this
time out.
instead.
You mean the new one or the 95?
The new one.
Oh,
The
fuck
new
that.
one.
Stay here.
I wanted to see it because it leaves, and I thought, why not? So I watched it. I literally
bad.
turned it on, like, periodically. I was kind of looking over here. That's when you guys were talking. I was here like, all right, how much can I get in before midnight tonight? I'm not going to finish it because I got to get up at 8 a.m. in the morning. Oh, sorry, I got to be at work at 8 a.m. in the morning, so I got to get up earlier than that. So we're going to see how that turns out. So I may have watched the first 15 minutes, and that's it. But I'm okay with that.
Just watch the
Also, I'm glad to
95.
be here.
But with that being said, we're going to start. And I decided because we are starting to get numbers in again, I'm going to bring something back I haven't done in a while.
Oh, son of a bitch, you're not.
Don't worry, we're not going to do predictions.
Oh, thank God.
We are going to talk about the box office.
I'm like,
Yes.
Malcolm, you know what I'm going to
box
do?
office?
I'm going to
Doesn't
steal
exist.
Perry Nemiros, and I'm going to put Home Again in there. You know I'm going to do that.
But all, I mean, at the moment, all these numbers are still estimated, so they may change by the time the official ones come out. But at the moment, Spiral is still number one at the box office with $4.6 million. Then you've got Wrath of Man at 2.9. Those Who Wish Me Dead is in third at 1.8. Raya and the Last Dragon is still hanging around there, is at 1.7.
Mhm.
And Godzilla vs. Kong is also still hanging around at 1.4. Matt, is anything that surprised you about the box office?
No, not really. Spiral. I know the Saw series is pretty popular amongst horror fans, and I know this is kind of like a spin-off or a anthology, I guess, maybe to it, but it's still in the same world, so that makes sense. Wrath of Man, I mean, and an action movie, still May, so it's early into that sort of season. Makes sense. Those Who Wish Me Dead, that makes sense. Like Wrath of Man making more than that makes sense, just because I think from the trailer I saw, it's like Wrath of Man is way more of a straightforward action movie, whereas Those Who Wish Me Dead is like way more of a thriller. But I still want to see that movie. It looks great. And then was it Raya and Kong?
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, Raya, obviously, it's the only like kids anime film, but I think it's on Disney Plus now. So it's definitely gonna drop off because of that. And then Kong vs. Godzilla. I mean, it's King Kong vs. Godzilla. If you didn't see it on HBO Max because you're like me, you don't have it, and now like your theaters are a little bit more open, and your theaters are a little bit more open, or maybe you got vaccinated so you feel more comfortable going to the theaters. That's definitely a type of movie that I think people are like, if I could still see, like if I could still see giant monsters beating the hell out of each other on a big screen, I will gladly go and see giant monsters beat the hell out of each other. I'm upset at everyone here. Top Gun got re-released last week in Dolby. It should have been number one. Everyone should want to go and see it. I know Manny didn't go and see it, but he's going to watch Top Gun because of me.
It
I am
wasn't
going to
back
watch
in
Top Gun,
cinemas in New
yes.
Zealand. So
What? Oh,
it
it
wasn't
was?
back in cinemas.
It was released in Dolby, and I tell you, that movie is never going to sound better than that. It was.
I don't have a
so
single
good.
Dolby near me, save for like an hour and 30 minutes away.
Regardless,
so.
Manny, you're watching Top Gun, and then we're recording a podcast
I
about it.
am. Yes, I will. We will do a review, a retrospective review. I
We'll do
promise
a
you.
difference of opinion episode because I have a feeling
Done.
it's not gonna end well for me. Maybe I don't know.
Listen. I could love it, or I could at least tolerate it. I don't think I'm gonna hate it. My
You
worst,
better
I'm
not,
gonna
or
tolerate
else
it.
I don't think we could be
Am I
friends.
fired?
But
We do.
Aaron, what are your thoughts on the box office?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing that shocks me is Raya's fourth place?
Yeah, it's
Considering-
it's Trout Freak of release too. So
Considering like that movie performed way under projections, even for the COVID era, like I'm shocked. It's did it make over 1 million or was it under 1 million at this point?
over 1 million still.
Yeah, like that's fucking surprising. I'm actually one of those tickets. I was supposed to go see it earlier today, missed it, and forgot to cancel my A list. So I technically contributed. Somebody at AMC is paying my ticket. But yeah, cool. Like Wrath of Man looks fine. I'm a Guy Ritchie fan. The trailer didn't interest me enough to go out of my way to see it. I'll see it when I can. And Spiral, like, okay, yeah, like part of me wonders like how it would have done if it had come out at a normal period and not during a pandemic, because like opening wise, it had the worst opening weekend by over a 50% drop from the last film. But that's a franchise that has been in a downward trend anyways in terms of its numbers. So I really do wonder, like, was it different enough to bring audiences back? Because one of the things I've heard from like mega Saw fans who have seen it is that they actually didn't enjoy it as much because it's not all blood, guts, and gore. They actually tried to do something slightly smarter this time. So I don't know if that would it have worked if it weren't for the pandemic.
Manning, what are your thoughts about the box office?
See, the most interesting statistic, or I guess just like overall story to me, is not the domestic box office, but it's the overseas international box office right now. Because right now, F9, as I'm going to call it, little F9 key on your keyboard over here, Fast and Furious 9, it debuted at $162 million with only 8 markets. One of those includes, of course, China. China, Hong Kong, and Korea are just some of them.
China.
So while China,
Okay.
so while,
China. Okay.
of course, yes, you're right, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
but
That's
yeah,
why they
Hong
brought
Kong.
back Han.
Yeah, exactly. Hong Kong. Well, wow. While Hong Kong is still currently separated from China at the moment, and there we got demonetized in China. Are you happy?
Nice.
But still, 162 million is nothing to sneeze at, and is easily the biggest
That's it.
like box office. Thank you. Is easily the biggest like box office draw I think we've had from an international perspective. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure each one since like Fast 5 or maybe the 6th one has done gangbuster numbers overseas in particular.
7
the
is
la-
one of the highest grossing movies of all.
The-
It's ridiculous.
The last two at the world, and this isn't counting Hobbs and Shaw. The last 2 actual
Mhm.
Fast and Furious
Yes.
films made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
So like that's to me if and obviously we're still getting back, things are opening back up, but that kind of shows if the Chinese box office, which is the second biggest box office across the world, is opening back up, and we see these numbers with its first opening weekend. Imagine what we can see when we start to open things back up here. So there is a hunger. The question is, when are we going to start seeing some of these things? When people start to feel safer? When our social distancing and mask, well, you can still have mask mandates and go to the theater, but when they start to open up more seating, is what I say, capacity wise. So I'm just curious in the sense of what it's going to look like if the Fast and the Furious franchise is already like doing great numbers, even amidst of a pandemic, which I don't know where we are in the pandemic, but we're still in one nonetheless. But
And sorry, just to build on the thing to note about this is, unlike like something like Tenet, which had a week between its international release and its domestic release, Fast and Furious has a whole month. So we don't know where it'll be in a month. If it might have a better shot at doing numbers that way.
Well, and I mean, it's also going to be interesting because who knows how much pirating is going to happen as well. So,
Oh,
Well, Malcolm,
True.
our good friend might have some thoughts on pirating and the Chinese box office. If we might hear from him about Fast 9, we don't have to. If you want to hear from him,
I'm curious where you're going with this. So let go.
okay, I'll
this
go get
sounds
him.
dirty.
Hey
don't know what
guys, it's me, Vin Diesel.
Oh.
So I'm here
Did
because
not notice the sound
Fast
if you did.
9 it's opened in China and it's made a lot of money because China it's like family, like I bought a toy of myself. Guess what? Made in China. So like they love me over there and they love me here because the whole world and Vin Diesel, we're all like family. In this pandemic, it sucked because we couldn't see family, but now in movie theaters you can see me and my family. So you should take your family, go see my family. My brother's in it, John Cena. I kick his ass because I'm Vin Diesel, and I kick everyone's ass. But seriously, Fast and Furious 9 is coming out next month, or you can go to China and go see it right now. It's up to you. And look, you wouldn't steal an apple from a fruit cart, so don't pirate my movie, because would you pirate family? I don't think so.
take a shot every time he says family.
You'll be dead by the end of one of
Vin,
these.
You
I
will die.
don't know if Vin is still here, but Vin, you are such an underrated actor. I don't know how you hide your Stallone accent
where'd Matt go?
and Trump cadence
Hey,
in your films.
Okay. Look, the thing is it's entirely possible that I started doing this impression as a joke, and it just kind of stuck around. It barely sounds like Vin Diesel.
It doesn't
but-
sound like him at all.
Doesn't sound like him at all.
It doesn't, but I started doing it, and I think it was.
Vin Diesel's pop music sounds more like Vin Diesel
No,
than that
it
does.
doesn't. But I started doing that on the
I think you
summit,
might have started
and
it. Yeah.
it just kind of
Yeah,
stuck
in the
around. It was,
fantasy
like,
update.
well, it was fantasy updates. That was it, and it just kind of stuck around as just like that's our Vin Diesel, which I don't think we ever officially said of it. I mean, we've tagged Vin Diesel several times on Twitter. He's never responded to us. Oh, we've tagged Kermit the Frog when he's drunk on the show. We tagged. I'm surprised we haven't gone blocked by a couple of these accounts yet, but
I
you
just
know.
don't know it.
Possibly.
But anyway, to get back on track.
Yes.
That wasn't on track.
What are your
okay.
thoughts on the box office?
Malcolm, I don't think I can follow Vin Diesel. I watched 4 of the top 5 movies because Raya sounds weird in my TV, Disney Plus. I don't know why, and I watched all 4 in theaters. I don't know if that counts because I'm crazy, and I don't care about getting caught because it
I
doesn't.
went to a
exist.
theater last
Hashtag,
week for
We're
Tom
gonna
Cruise.
get banned.
Hey,
I went
Yeah.
for Tom
Listen,
Cruise.
Florida's taken COVID so seriously. Our theaters have been open since last summer.
I was
So
gonna say Florida. It's just been like
Dude, seriously?
everything I
COVID doesn't exist in Florida. Like, that's the truth. They just don't
they
believe
just
it
kinda
exists.
Gave up.
nope.
They were like, you
I
guys
mean-
got like 1 week where like your store was closed for like half an hour, and everyone was like, I don't think COVID's real. That's
Um,
that's a West Coast thing.
but anyway, like for
That's
me,
smart people think.
Go ahead,
but
Malcolm.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but for me, like the box office, seems to be where it seems to be on the up and up now, because I think it's one of those ones that with vaccinations getting rolling out and like and all that, and
And
theatres
also
are
more
opening up
theaters
again.
opening. I think that's
Yeah,
the thing too. More theaters are opening.
I think the box office is going to start getting back to where it normally is. And I mean,
No, I'm sorry. No, finish.
but like for me, the one that does surprise me is Raya and the Last Dragon still being in there. Because that's one that also came out on Disney Plus as well on Premier Access. So the fact it is still making money, I don't know if they ever took it off Premier Access at any point.
No, so it's 3 months will be up at the start of June. So it is technically still a paid rental or paid access, but it's
Yeah.
a week away from it, like something like that.
Well,
So if
I
you
don't
really
know.
can't
I don't
wait a
know if it's
week,
a thing.
go to the theater or pay $30.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I don't know if it's a Mexico thing, but Raya has been on Disney Plus like for a month.
It could be
Like,
a
it was
different.
just in
It
Premier
could
Access.
just be different.
it may be.
territories.
Or maybe they shortened the window. I saw the movie before it came out, in all honesty, so I haven't actually checked. But I believe it was a
No,
90-day
but,
window
like-
in the U.S. at least.
Mhm.
I remember with Mulan, like they released it the same day in the United States and Mexican Disney Plus.
Yeah, they
It's just
they
a government.
released
I
it.
don't know.
I mean, maybe
I could be wrong,
maybe you guys didn't do the Premier Access. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. I know Cruella is gonna do Premiere Access on Disney Plus. I heard that somewhere they're gonna do, which makes
And
sense.
Jungle
No, it
Cruise
is-
now too.
next
They
week.
announced that.
Jungle Cruise is awesome. Damn it! I thought that was one I was gonna just get right away. Crap. No, damn it. Well, I'll have to wait 3 months or go to a theater. I
You
guess.
gotta wait.
yeah, I think all the movies except Luca. I think it's all the
Yeah, they're
ones
all
that,
gonna be Premiere.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's
it's Luca will be free on Disney Plus just straight up.
and then the rest are all Premiere.
Black Widow, Jungle Cruise, and then Cruella next week are going to be Premiere Access, and then Free Guy and Shang-Chi are going to be theatrical only, but after 45 days they'll be free on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And then the plan is, I believe the last thing Shapek said was the plan is for everything else after Shang-Chi to be solely theatrical, but if they feel they're not making enough money to where they have to adjust, it'll be the 45-day window option
Mhm.
instead of Premiere Access.
I
Yes.
just love the fact that like now, and like I said, I went to the theater for Top Gun and I felt
I'm gonna
totally
try.
I felt totally fine. and everything. But now it's like now because I have Disney Plus, it is that question of like, so because I want to see Jungle Cruise, like, because I'm not paying $30 for premium access and all
No.
that. So it's like, do I pay $30 or do I just wait 90 days until I can watch it at home at my leisure? Which I hate because I love the movie, so I'm probably gonna, actually something like Jungle Cruise, I think I'm gonna go and see in theaters. I feel like but something like Cruella,
I mean,
on Disney Plus for free.
Oh, hey, don't you slander Cruella. I'm excited for Cruella.
I'm excited for Jungle Cruise, and we are.
But
all
I'm excited for Jungle Cruise too.
movies.
Why are you bringing down Cruella over here?
I'm not down on Cruella. I'm down on people trying to call it a live action,
Oh,
like
no, that's
a live action
False to me.
remake when it's
not.
not.
I think they should just call it I Cruella.
Also, the thing is,
I'd watch it.
You don't even need to call
Kind of the same
it.
movie.
You don't even need to say like, oh, it's a live action prequel because the Glenn Close movies exist, which are live action. Just say it's a prequel.
Agreed. Well,
to
I
those
think that's
movies.
I think that's poor marketing on the part of Disney. Sorry, Malcolm, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, I've had this debate with other people about other ones that have been labelled as live action remakes because Christopher Robin and Maleficent are two that people are also calling live action remakes.
Maleficent,
Or not.
I could
I mean,
kind of
it's
see
better
you
than
getting
that.
away with because it is kind of remaking the movie, but it's told from a different perspective. But what was
call
the
it
other
a
one you
good
said?
one.
Christopher Robin is the
Christopher
other one.
Robin. That's like he's a freaking adult.
That's a
like,
continuation.
it's like
I think
continuation
it's
of the
just
story.
I think it's just the marketing ploy of it because like they counted Pete's Dragon as a live action remake, but that's technically already live action animation beforehand.
I think honestly, it's this. I think now live action remake is becoming the same way as like even when DVD happened, everyone still called it straight to home video, even though VHSs
it's like
weren't
they're-
around anymore.
They
You're
did.
just like, oh, it's a straight to video, which like kids nowadays be like, what the fuck is video?
I mean, even
What's
this
DVD?
even in this day and age, with the movies that are going straight to Netflix, I've seen people still say straight to video.
But that's what I'm
It's
saying. Like people, like it's just one of those things. But it just annoys me because I'm like, if the Glenn Close movies didn't exist, that'd be fine. But it's like they're live action. Also, they're great. If no one's ever seen those, Glenn Close, which we all know after the Oscars, we're all learning more. Glenn Close is fucking awesome.
She's a G.
And she's great in those movies.
Glenn Close got
you
ass.
know. She's so hot. I mean, she may never
got
win an
the butt.
Oscar, and
She
that's
got-
probably
she
going to
got
be the
the
most
butt.
upsetting thing in the world we're going to have to deal with, possibly. Man, and you're the Oscars guy. Why didn't she have an Oscar? You're on
Well,
the
I can
Academy,
let me
clearly.
get my board out, and I can tell you guys why she hasn't won for retrospective year. No, I'll do that later.
Should have been nominated for Hillbilly Elegy.
No.
That's one reason she probably should have been nominated.
Listen, okay, I will say disclaimer: it did not deserve a Razzie nomination. That performance did not
No,
deserve a Razzie
Hey,
nomination.
they
Did it deserve an Oscar?
blown a
No.
Razzie nomination for Rambo Last Blood, which I'm like, look, even as a Sloan fan, I don't think that's the best Rambo movie, but like, it wasn't Razzie worthy. Come on, guys.
I mean, the movie's terrible, but there were worse.
Yeah, worse acting.
But it looks like Maddie will be Matt's guest whenever it does on for the Fandom podcast. Glenn Close.
Oh,
Glenn Close.
yeah. I gotta do that as an episode. Glenn Close is one of my favorite actresses. She's
great.
But anyway,
Speaking
gonna
of
be
the Fandom podcast, new episode dropped today. Go watch it. It's got a whopping 6 views right now. 5 of them are mine.
How's that math work, Matt?
That's not how it works.
I
It
got you. I
means
got you.
there's 6 views. 5 of them I watched, which means one other person watched.
but I mean,
Wow, look, I
being,
explained the math now. Everyone's silent. Hmm.
but that being said,
Sorry.
it's going to be.
I hate
interesting
when
to
he
see what
does
the
that.
It's going to be interesting to see what the box office does when this week, because this week we do have a Quiet Place Part 2 and Cruella opening up. So,
Also,
So-
Malcolm, before we continue, did you monetize this video? Because we probably got demonetized when I made the oral joke at the beginning.
who knows?
I have to keep that in mind now for shows.
But
if we want money.
But anyway, we did have a few trailers drop this week. One of them I kept in here because we haven't had a chance to talk about it, and but the trailers that we got Venom: There Will Be Carnage. Yes, I know that came out a wee while ago, but I kept it in here so we could talk about it. Snake Eyes, Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, The Lost Symbol TV series, Dear Evan Hansen, a short teaser for Monsters at Work. It actually is coming, and Respect, which is the Aretha Franklin biopic starring Jennifer Hudson. Matt, any of these trailers you want to talk about?
What was it? Not Venom's Carnage. Oh, so I saw the Snake Eyes one. It looks pretty cool. I've been a pretty solid. What is that? Is that Snake Eyes? I've been a pretty big G.I. Joe fan since I was a kid with the early 2000s reboot series. I've always loved that show. From a dumb popcorn action movie, I liked the first G.I. Joe. As a dumb, stupid, guilty pleasure action movie, I liked it. Didn't really like the second one so much, but the first one I thought was pretty fun, and I thought Ray Park in both of them was fantastic as Snake Eyes. So when he got recast, I was kind of like, because I thought he was such a good Snake Eyes. And also, like, Snake Eyes, since the comics, he doesn't talk, but this movie looks pretty cool. I'm gonna be interested in this. I think I've always thought that, like, out of, like, he's kind of, he's like what Wolverine used to be before the Hugh Jackman movies, to where, like, he's always been a fan favorite, but he's not, like, Cyclops is always the leader. He's always the main character, and Snake Eyes and Wolverine were always the secondary characters, whereas Duke was always the main. Whereas now, I feel like Snake Eyes with this movie is moving to the, if it works and if people respond to it, which I'm totally fine with. Snake Eyes is a great character, but I'm looking forward to it. I've never seen a single Hotel Transylvania movie, but I saw the trailer for that, and I watched it because I learned from our good friend Michael Kay that Adam Sandler is not doing the voice, but the guy who does it is apparently doing it incredible. So I had to listen. I was like, if I hadn't seen Michael Sweets about that, I would have believed, like, if I was doing a trivia match and they were like, who plays Count Dracula and whatever Hotel Transformia, I'd be like, Adam Sandler, and they'd be like, you're wrong, and I'd be like, oh, because that guy. Slow clap for you, sir, because that's fantastic. Venom: There Will Be Carnage. I didn't watch the trailer because I still haven't even seen the first Venom, so what's the point? But G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, please be good, because I want more G.I. Joe movies, because I love G.I. Joe, and because the first two weren't well received. They kind of just said screw it on G.I. Joe stuff.
But Aaron, what are your thoughts on those trailers?
I'll try and run through as many as I remember, because I know I've seen all of them. Venom, I thought it was fine. As someone who wasn't a fan of the first one, I like that we're seeing a bit of a direction shift. My biggest problem with the first one was I just thought the tone was off. It wanted to be a funny action comic book movie, but it also wanted to be dark and serious. So it was kind of just pick a lane. They did pick one. Whether or not it works, we'll see. But I thought the trailer was fine. Dear Evan Hansen, I thought it was a good trailer. It sets up the story well enough. I don't know anything about the musical, so I don't actually really know anything about it. But as a trailer, I thought it looked fine, and I don't know why the internet flipped shit on Ben. Is it Ben Platt? That's his name.
Yeah.
Just,
what was that?
Neither of them are in their teens. I think Caitlin Dever is only like a year or two younger than him. Just because she looks young doesn't mean anything, guys. Don't freak out. There's no weird shit happening on that set. Respect looks really good. That looked like a really good trailer. And when Jennifer Hudson's not in Cats, she can be a very good actress. So I hope the movie turns out really good, because someone like Aretha Franklin deserves a good biopic like we've seen for other musicians. Hotel Transylvania 4, I've actually seen all three of them. They're fine. Obviously, the I think the one that will pique people's interest with this is the fact that it lost Adam Sandler, and even though he wrote it, Jenny Tartakovsky is not directing this one. It's a different director as well. So I just wonder quality wise, how it'll compare to the others. Will those, and from what I heard, Kevin James isn't in it either. So they had a voice actor doing a Kevin James sound alike too in that trailer, because he's not credited with the cast. The big one with this is Snake Eyes. It's a minute teaser. It looks cool. The truth is, I'm not fucking excited for this movie at all. I want it to be good, and the cast is great. Like Henry Golding is charismatic as fuck. I've liked him in everything he's been in, whether it's good or bad. Iko Uwais as the Master is a great casting call. All the other actors, Samara Weaving being in this, she's been great in a lot of stuff. So it's got a good cast. It's the director for me. Robin Schwentke is the director of the film. He has 4 blockbusters to his name: Red, R.I.P.D., and the 2 Divergent sequels. Most of that's shit. That's not good.
I kind of like Red.
That's the only one. The rest are shit, though.
But I think the cast was kind of what saved that movie.
Manning, what are your thoughts on the trailers?
I'll just talk about a couple of them that caught my eye. Literally, I did not know Snake Eyes had a trailer at all until you just mentioned it right now. And I'm like, excuse me, Henry Golding's new movie is out here? I have no attachment to G.I. Joe. They were not the American heroes for me. Out of all of the Hasbro properties, it was Transformers.
G.I. Joe, they mean nothing to me.
No, they mean nothing to me. But Snake Eyes.
No.
Snake Eyes was always the cool one that you saw those action figure aisles, and you were like Snake Eyes, and then like what was the other one? The
Storm Shadow.
Storm
Shadow. Yes, those are the 2 I always remembered. Besides Cobra Commander, I guess as well. And seeing Snake Eyes come to life. I saw the trailer. The movie's probably going to be horrible. I'm not even going to try to defend it, but I'm excited now because it looks. I'm a sucker for martial arts films. I'm a sucker for films where especially you have a samurai sword in hand and then you have some excellent camera work. As long as you can keep me actively engaged, I will forgive a shoddy plot, a poor script, and I will say this is entertaining. Will I give it a good review? Probably not, but I'm excited based upon the fact that this is another film with a martial arts bent. And I'm always excited for that. Shang-Chi is probably going to be better when it comes to apples and oranges and martial arts, but I'm totally down for both. And then the other one I want to talk about is Respect. I don't have respect. I don't have respect. I have respect for Aretha Franklin, though, and I have respect for Jennifer Hudson, and I'm excited to see that. It's good. It kind of tells you the basic story. I'm getting a lot of maybe, if anything, we're going to possibly get like a Renee Zellweger for Judy. This is where we're going to campaign for her, Jennifer Hudson, but this is a first-time director. MGM is pushing this because this was supposed to come out last year before the pandemic and in like December Christmas Day release. So they had faith in it as a film. So when it comes to the Oscars, we're not sure what we're going to expect, but hold your breath. If anything, she's going to be the most buzziest thing out of that movie. I can almost guarantee you. And then there's one more trailer. Oh yeah. Let There Be Carnage. That's all I got to say.
Abe, what are your thoughts on the trailers?
Okay, I hear 3 you mentioned, so I'm gonna hope that's correct. I didn't watch the Respect one because it didn't catch my interest. You know, I'm thinking that movie is bad because if that movie were to be good, they would have campaigned for it this year. Because they had a chance, because it's a less crowded film. Secondly, the Venom one, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was something. But like, yeah, Andy Serkis, I'm gonna trust you because you have directed his 3rd film after Breathe and the Jungle Book one, or Mowgli. That's the correct name. But you know, I don't remember anything for the first Venom. I just remember falling asleep while watching it because I went to the midnight screening of it and I fall asleep. For like 10 minutes, I think, until my friend waked me up. So, are you sleeping? And I said, no, I'm not. Also,
I love it when that happens. Are you asleep?
No.
What else? Oh, the G.I. Joe one. Snake Eyes.
Dear Evan Hansen. Snake Eyes.
Do you think he was saying dear?
Dear
Snake Eyes Hansen.
I'd watch
that was a really short trailer. I want to see more. I really like Henry Golding. I think he's a really good actor. He has charisma all over his face. And yeah, and I don't watch the one you just mentioned.
But yeah, for me, I talked a lot about the Venom trailer on After Dark last week.
Thank you. Yeah,
but
I'll take that.
Is it a porn show?
but there's not much more I can add here.
Pornhub.
Great
but
site. Great
Snake
site.
Eyes, I mean,
Great
I
Snake
site.
Eyes
wish
is
we
watched.
make better money.
Yeah, they do. You could actually get cash for it.
But yes, Snake Eye. But Snake
Oh.
Eyes.
I'm sorry, I scared
Malcolm,
about Pornhub.
Malcolm, steer the ship. Malcolm, hurry. We're sinking.
Have you followed
Anyway,
someone for like 5 years and you see how their house has improved through time with the money?
Abe
but
loves the Venom. There will be Carnage video because
But
if there was
anyway.
anyone who could play him in a comic book movie, it'd be Woody Harrelson, just looking just like he does in that movie.
but anyway, with Snake Eyes, Snake Eye, G.I. Joe's a property I've never really been attached to myself.
It
But,
makes sense.
But I watched this trailer. It looks good. I'm probably going to go watch it.
Malcolm, legitimate question. I'm just wondering because a YouTuber I follow, he is based in Australia. Did you get Action Force instead of GI Joe? Was that because I know in some countries?
I mean, I remember playing with the toy range Action Men.
Action Man.
That's what.
Okay, just because I know in some countries they changed it to Action Force because like in other countries no one giving a shit about real American heroes. Be like, why do we care?
I mean,
America,
I think we had G.I. Joe. I think I remember
In
seeing G.I.
Soviet
Joe.
Russia, they are called Aijo. They are true Russian diplomats. Even Drago is leader because he beat Rocky Balboa in an art cut of film.
But anyway,
The
the
Russian cut of Rocky IV. The Russian cut of Rocky IV ends after Creed dies. The credits just roll.
I mean, they'll probably come out the year. They'll probably
After
be
Stallone's cut. After
after
Stallone's
Stallone's robot cut. But the Lost Symbol TV series looks interesting. It's I have no idea what the timeline of when it comes to this is. I'm pretty sure this is set before Da Vinci Code, which is why I've got a younger Robert Langdon in the role this time. I know they're messing with these books' timelines a lot because I'm pretty sure the Lost Symbol book was set after Da Vinci Code. I have
It's
no
like
idea
the
what.
Jack Ryan series. They kind of just pick whatever books have a good plot, and they don't really care when it. Or even James Bond, they do the same thing with Jack Ryan and James Bond. It's just like that plot sounds good. It's like, yeah, but that took place like way before your whatever.
So-
Fine.
I was gonna say because I honestly had no clue what you're talking about. I had to look it up, so I just stumbled across Robert Langdon on Wikipedia. I didn't know this was a thing that was happening. The actual book order is Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code, Lost Symbol, Inferno, and then something called Origin, which I hope never gets made into a movie.
I mean, like Origin will probably be made into something later.
If
Whether
there's
it's
more
a
to be
TV,
made,
whether it's a
it'll be
TV
made.
series, and that who knows, but
TV
Um,
miniseries.
yeah, I mean, I've been a big fan of all the movies based on Robert Langdon.
Whoa, someone's having fun.
But yeah,
I was watching Netflix in the background. What?
but Dear Evan Hansen looks interesting. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably one of the ones that is still thrown off by Ben Platt looking a lot older than high school. Well, yes, I know he originated the role, and they wanted to keep him in the lead role.
You gotta hold back a couple years. Get off them. Come on, guys.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, it's one of those ones. like it will be like Grease to me. Like after when I go watch it, I'll get used to it. But
I like how you're talking about Grease, but I'm just thinking of the exchange dialogue 21 Jump Street to where it's just like it says I was held back. It's like you were held back. It's like even though it's a fake backstory, it still insults me. And then when he's in the classroom, it's like you look like 25. Were you like held forward? And he's like, no. Were you held back? He's like, I don't know. Were you held forward? You look super young.
but yeah, I mean, like as someone who's never had a chance to go to Woodway, never seen or heard any songs from the Evan Hansen before.
I have heard about this, and I think the most I know is like he like breaks his arm at some point because I think that's like I saw advertisements. Is that the same show? Where he has,
yes,
like,
but
I got that
it's
one
already
from the
broken.
trailer.
Because I didn't see the trailer, but I've heard because I live on Long Island, so obviously New York is not too far away, so like Broadway and everything is pretty big, and I'm just like never saw the show because like popular contrary belief, I don't go to fucking Broadway every week.
I was gonna say Malcolm, and I think Manning. Have you seen it as well?
The trailer or the
the trailer.
Yes, I have in fact seen the trailer.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me if you agree with me. The age thing, because honestly, Ben Platt, he's not even 30 yet, and he doesn't really look that old. What would have helped us if they didn't try to make him look like Michael Cera from 2007 with that Jerry curl hair? Like, that's what's hurting him.
I think with Dear Evan Hansen, the backlash that I saw a lot on Twitter were from people. Well, one of the main backlashes, there were a lot of different things. One of the main things that I saw or that I observed was most people had their grievances with the actual musical in of itself, and were bringing their grievances with the musical up into the movie and thinking, why are they making this about this horrible person? Because a lot of people don't like Evan Hansen for some reason, the character, not the actual musical, but the character of Evan Hansen, which I won't spoil because I think I got spoiled, but the trailer kind of spoils it in of itself. He's someone who just kind of lies about who he kind of goes along with the lie.
Yeah. It's like lying, but because of the situation you're caught in and you think it's a good reason to go with the lie.
So, time out here. So he's Flick from A Bug's Life? That's what you guys tried to tell me?
Yes, it's a Bug's Life remake. It's a Bug's Life remake.
But anyway...
It's a live-action remake of A Bug's Life.
Does that mean we're going to get the Ants coming out the same year? What would the Ants version Dear Evan Hansen be?
Dear Evan Hansen?
Will Stallone be in that one? He better have made this list, by the way, Malcolm. Talk about Stallone and Ants. If he's not on this, I'm leaving.
But anyway, aside from the trailers, we've had some other news. It feels like every few days a new Knives Out 2 member is being announced. We have got a cast of, at this stage, maybe 5 other new people have been announced since we started the show. At this stage, we've got Kate Hudson, Leslie Odom Jr., Catherine Hahn, Janelle Monáe, Edward Norton, and Batista are all going to be in Knives Out 2.
And Daniel Craig.
So good.
Well, I mean, obviously Daniel Craig.
Yeah, you meant new to the series, yeah.
Yeah. So, Matt, what are your feelings about this cast of Knives Out 2 as it stands?
Okay, so I saw Knives Out, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. Like, the trailers kind of sold me on it was going to be a different movie than it ended up being, which is fine. That obviously Rian Johnson, he's not the one editing the trailer. I put no blame on him for that. It was an okay movie. I thought the cast was really stellar. And was a lot of people I liked. Here it's the same thing. Because I didn't really love the last one, I'm probably gonna wait this one out, see what a lot of critics that I follow, see what they say. If a lot of them are saying it's a good thing, then I'm gonna go and see. But I try to especially with big ensemble movies like this, I try to not get my hopes up because, oh my God, here's a bunch of actors that I like, because it's like, if the script is trash, sometimes they can't always save the movie. So I try, it's like, are there a lot of actors in this? Like, yeah, obviously. I mean, you got Kurt Russell's stepdaughter is, Kate Hudson's in. So obviously there's some class in there. I hope Kurt's in the movie. Put Kurt and Goldie Hawn in the damn movie, and I'll be there day one. Hell, I'll be there a week before we out for that movie, and they'll be like, "Sir, you know you can buy tickets online now." I'll be like, "I don't care." Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn in the movie. Can do it. I don't know what Abe's gonna say, but I don't know what my original point when I started this was. But Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn need to be in Knives Out too.
Do you want to be in the movie, Abe? Is that what you're?
I would love if Abe was in it.
No, I just want to say, sorry to break your heart, Matt, but this was bought by Netflix for $465 million for these 2 and 3, so you don't have to go to the theater. You can stay at home and watch it.
Yay! My lazy ass once again begins streaming.
And I also hate to break it to you. My other point, you said that Kate Hudson is bringing class. She did music last year, so.
I didn't see that. Once again, as I've said on Gone with the Wind, I think I've heavily established I don't watch movies past 2000.
You just gotta look at the description.
I don't think we ever talked about music anyway, so
no. But the Razzies
music
did.
like
so
that's
look, the description and look it up. Well, we all know what happened to them.
Look, I don't care. I'm done with Kate Hudson. My thing now is get Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn in the movie. I'm tweeting about it currently, and I'll continue.
Do you want to bring the whole family? Get Oliver Hudson and Wyatt Russell on there too?
Yeah, why don't you get Wyatt Russell? He can murder someone else in cold blood again in a movie. He'll be the murderer.
No, we all know it's going to be Kathryn Hahn all along.
Oh my god, yeah, Kathryn Hahn. I've loved Kathryn Hahn since I saw Step Brothers. So the fact that like WandaVision is like getting everyone to be like, we love Kathryn Hahn, I'm so excited. So I'm happy she's in this movie too.
But Aaron, what are your thoughts on this cast of Knives Out 2 as it stands?
Yeah, so as Malcolm very nicely plugged earlier on my own channel, I'm our equivalent of this After Dark. I'm the news researcher, and somehow this fucking movie still managed to squeeze a cast member past me because I didn't know Kate Hudson got announced. So, Jesus. Honestly, she's probably the cast member that interests me the least. Like, she's fine, but Leslie Odom Jr., fresh off an Oscar nomination for One Night in Miami, is a great addition to this cast. That's already got a lot of really solid actors. I'm glad they branched out and stopped casting Marvel people because, there is more to Hollywood than just whoever's done a Marvel film. So I'm glad they're going out and getting other names as well. But, yeah, it's like, I don't think they're anywhere near done. I did a count the other night, and the first film had arguably 14 or 15 leads within its ensemble. So this movie being only at like 6 or 7 cast members, if it's going to be as big as the first one, they're nowhere near done. That doesn't mean everybody has to be an A-lister, because in the first one, like Ana de Armas, when she did the first one, technically wasn't an A-lister yet. That movie really was what put her over with people. But they're not done yet.
Yeah, and I mean, arguably, the 13 Reasons Why I cannot remember her name now.
Catherine Langford. Yeah, she's not an A-lister.
Yeah.
There was a chick in there who played like the maid or something. I only knew her from the HBO series Vice Principals because I remember I saw her. I was like, oh my god, she's from Vice Principals. She's a crazy.
Is that Ana de Armas or is that the other one?
No, it's whichever one has the spider crawling on her face.
Yeah, okay, that girl.
Yeah. Ana de Armas, I knew her from Blade Runner 2049. That's where I knew her from because I adored
that. She was in that.
Yeah. Yep.
But Manning, what are your thoughts on the Knives Out 2 cast?
First off, I gotta figure out who in the world you're talking about for Vice Principals or this person, because now I'm like, who is this actor from this that I don't recognize?
Black-haired. I don't know. I can pull a picture.
Google it. Yes. Find this person.
Yeah.
But the fact that also this was like $450 million that Netflix paid for this, which is kind of weird considering while the other one was profitable, only made like little north of 80 million when it comes to box office, which I guess is good. But when it comes to valuable blockbusters, just interesting. I guess it did really well when it comes to Blu-ray, DVD streaming services. I'm excited. Again, the best casting announcement was that to me was Daniel Craig was coming back because I absolutely love his LeBlanc. It's kind of ridiculous the way that he talks. It's very much akin to Logan Lucky. If you guys saw that, which is a fantastic film.
Great movie.
It is. It's so funny. I would highly encourage you all to see it. I just want Daniel Craig to do a Southern accent because it is such a fantastic like.
Manny.
How
That's
do I
her
know?
pick.
Talking about.
Who
I
was she in
found her-
the movie?
I found her name. The actress is Edie Patterson. She played Fran in Knives Out and was Miss Abbott in Vice Principals.
There's
Oh,
The one that died.
Yeah.
spoilers. Yes,
'Cause
you're right.
I knew
It's
her
2 years
from,
old. It'll be on Netflix.
You're right.
I knew her
It
from
will.
Vice Principals, which is a great show. If you have it, I assume it's on HBO Max.
It is.
There you go. But yeah, no, I think this is a fantastic cast, and it's probably going to even get bigger as the time goes on because again, you also have Edward Norton, which is a like this is like an Academy. We got an Academy Award nominated actor here, and I'm just all here for it. So yeah, I can't wait to see. There's also someone else,
You guys.
Batista's in it.
Batista. There was someone else in there who I
Or
was.
will he be in it?
Janelle
Like
Monáe.
Invisible.
Janelle
Yes.
Monáe.
Yes,
She might be invisible
Janelle
the whole time.
Monáe needs more roles. She's a phenomenal actress. She deserved the Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress for Hidden Figures, not Octavia Spencer. I'm sorry, Octavia Spencer. I want to see her in more things. Thank you. That is all.
Oh man, I love Octavia, and I really liked her in that movie. I was like, between the two, no.
But anyway, Abe, what are your thoughts on the Knives Out 2 cast?
Yeah, that's money talking. You wanna, I was thinking about the cast. Great cast, talented people. Probably gonna come out a good movie. I was thinking, do you guys think it's gonna be a murder? Like someone's gonna get killed again, or do you think it's gonna be something else? Like I don't know, a bank robbery or something. I was thinking of that. Like, why would you put a detective in the same setting as you did before, when there's many crimes to be solved?
I mean, I think they're probably going to follow the Agatha Christie style, and it's going to be a
Please.
murder in something. I mean, for all we know, it's not going to be called Knives Out 2. It's going to be.
Oh yeah,
called
that's like the working
It
title.
needs to be Knives Out 2, Knives Out Again, or something like that.
Knives harder.
Knives hard, knives sharper.
And then the next one will be Knives Out, Knives with a Vengeance, Live Free,
Got it.
Knife Hard, A Good
Good
Day,
Knife.
Knife Hard.
Stab, repeat.
But anyway, I'm going to speed through
Knives
some
Out.
of these news
Yes.
because some of them are really
Pointless.
well. Some of like not so much pointless, but a lot of them are not going to be big discussion points. Misha Green has said she's finished the final draft for Tomb Raider 2, which is the working title
Oh,
is
nice.
Obsidian. The Disenchanted cast has been announced. Maya Rudolph is going to be playing the villain. Gabby Baldacchino is playing a character called Morgan. Oscar Nunez, Jaima Mays, Yvette Nicole Brown, and Colton Stewart all have roles in there. John Boyega and Joe Cornish they're doing Attack the Block 2.
Yes.
We're getting some television spin-offs from Aqua Hunger Force, Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, all coming to Adult Swim. The Aqua Hunger Force spin-off is called Aqua Donk Side Pieces. The Rick and Morty spin-off is The Vindicators. Robot Chicken spin-off is the Alabama Jackson. And they're also doing a TV show called Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, whatever that is. And also, DC have announced that there'll be a new Batman series with Bruce Timm back, Batman Caped Crusaders. We're getting a TV series called My Adventures with Superman. I really hope that's the working title because I really don't like that title. With Jack Quaid from The Boys playing Superman.
That's awesome.
There's going to be a Batgirl movie coming, which is going to be directed by the Bad Boys for Life directors. And we're getting an animated movie of Injustice: Gods Among Us. Jenna Ortega has been cast. Jenna Ortega has been cast as Wednesday Addams in Tim Burton's Addams Family series.
Sure.
There's a Cher biopic in the works. The Rock is going to be voicing Crypto in DC League of Super Pets movie, which I had no idea was a thing.
Oh yeah,
Crypto or the
baby.
movie?
The movie
the
League of
movie.
Super Pets.
Yeah,
I had no idea that was a thing. And we're getting a reboot of Highlander starring Henry Cavill in the lead.
So much for there can only be one.
But Aaron, what are your thoughts on this bunch of news?
Yeah, I apologize. I was getting because I did production work for After Dark last night, and then for personal reasons we had to cancel the show. So a lot of that DC stuff was like the headlining news. So I have like notes on all of it. Dude, just an insane fucking amount of shit came out. Am I allowed to curse? I didn't think about asking that.
Once again, Aaron, I started the
late
show
night.
with an oral joke. You should
Fair
be
enough.
fine.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, like just an insane amount of just to quickly touch on some of it. Yeah, the DC League of
You missed it.
League of Super Pets thing, like that you were talking about, Kern. So they announced this back in 2018 after they put Teen Titans in theaters, and they were just kind of like, "Yeah, we're doing a DC Super Pets
That's probably
film."
why.
And no one believed them. And now I guess The Rock heard about it, and he decided to produce it and star in it. And it's got a release date for May 20th of next year.
The Rock was like, "Look,
Wow.
I don't have a project for next month, so that's Super Pets thing. I like that."
And then the other two big ones are, so that Cape Crusaders show, not only does it have Bruce Timm, but it's one of the things that J.J. Abrams will be working on as a part of his production deal, and Matt Reeves is involved as a producer, which I think is just really cool. I think they'll create a new, I don't think it'll be related to the film, but it's a cool, interesting angle to bring to Batman. And then the other one was Adil and Bilal, the Bad Boys for Life directors, and they just finished work on Miss Marvel as well, the Disney Plus show. I really like Bad Boys for Life. That movie was way better than it had any right to be. So I'm all for them getting more work. And considering the only other project they had announced was Beverly Hills Cop 4, and I see that dying in hell where it belongs, I'm glad that they found a project that might get off the ground.
I wonder if we could get a spin-off TV series called Bat Boys for Life.
I hate you, Malcolm.
Also, the just because I have it in front of me, the other thing worth mentioning is with the Batgirl thing. Apparently, they've actually brought back the co-writer that was working with Whedon when he was on the project, Christina Hodson, who's since written Bumblebee and Birds of Prey.
Oh yeah, bring it back.
And so she's been brought back, and I guess I don't know if they're going to continue everything that her and Whedon were working on, but apparently there's the script that she was writing with Whedon will be taken into consideration for ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the way Whedon is in Warner Media at the moment, I don't know how much.
His name won't be there, but
Yeah.
He's so rubbed.
But Manning, what are your thoughts on any of those news there?
Oh, it's absolutely the new Batman animated series coming out. I never really, after like what I'm trying to now recall, like the Batman. There hasn't been any Batman series. Not that I haven't watched them, and just nothing that's excited me, like Beware the Batman or Brave and the Bold.
No, Brave and the Bold came after the Batman. Batman. Brave
That's what I
and the
mean.
Bold
Well,
was
no,
the
I mean,
last one.
Yeah, I have not seen like Beware the Batman, all that stuff. I haven't seen anything that's been new coming out, but this kind of excites me in a way to think about. Okay, Bruce Timm still is the creme de la creme when it comes to what they did in the 90s with Batman the Animated Series, and to bring J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves, again, it may not be connected. You're right, Aaron, it may not be connected, but I'm still excited because that means that these two directors believe in this show enough. They're like, well, we want our name to be attached to that. Not just because it's Batman, but because they care enough to put something behind, whether it's actually finances or whether it's a creative vision. I'm all for that because everyone's excited for Matt Reeves, the Batman. And I'm rightly so. It looks fantastic, but I'm excited to see what they do with this show. That's really like it. I'm also excited there's a new Tomb Raider. I like the other one fine enough. Alicia Vikander, give me more action sequences, and I'm here for it. So what was the very first story again? Was that the Tomb Raider one?
That was the Tomb Raider one.
What was the second one?
Good on you for remembering that.
Disenchanted cast. Maya Rudolph. Yeah.
That movie is like the original movie came out like what 2007. This movie is like 10 years too late, in my opinion, at least. But I'm excited still because I love Enchanted, and I think Amy Adams is robbed for an Oscar nomination because what that movie is just bliss. It's absolute bliss. I love it. I want it now. A little late, but better late than never, I guess.
You know,
Knock on wood.
you're not the only one who believes that, because when Disney first announced it, one of the things they said was, yeah, it's not going to be a 15-year gap. It's not modern day. It's like a number of years ago, a few years after the original.
Period piece.
Interesting.
2009.
Yeah, they also think it's 10 years too late, clearly.
Obviously, yes.
I hope if it's set in 2009, someone talks about Christian Bale. Then we could get that rant in a Disney movie.
No, it's like Giselle comes in just like, did you see the bad man say all those words on the internet?
Oh, good for you, cartoon character. How was it living in the real world? Are you disenchanted now, huh?
But
That was
But
better
a-
than Diesel.
but Abe, what
Alright,
are your
Aaron.
thoughts on
That's
those
enough.
the rest of those news?
Look, I'm really excited about Maya Rudolph. I really like her. She's a great actress. She's one of my favorite comedians. She should get more work. What was in the news? Well, you know what got me excited? That the director is a Bad Boys for Life. My job on every content I am. I'm doing Batgirl. Sadly, it's in HBO. Hopefully, they can upgrade it theaters so they can be seen in the big screen, because that's how all movies should be watched. I don't care if you're mad and you wanna go to a theater.
It's not that I don't want to. It's just going to a
And
theater.
what
is
else
kinda
was in the
difficult
news?
for me.
There were times.
I mean,
That's
Sorry,
a
I'm cutting
screenshot
off.
to be
Yeah,
frozen
you
on.
guys cut off for me.
well,
He's
I mean,
back.
You're good.
but any particular one you want me to reread? Because I'm not going to read them all again.
No, just those. No, I did hear you. Like those two that I mentioned were the highlights.
Oh, but,
You know, DC
I
doing
thought he was
animated
saying those
content.
were the highlights
have
for him.
Yeah. DC making animated content. Like I don't watch it. It's hard for me to go into it.
but Matt, anything in those news that's
I'm
stood out to you?
I would say a few things. So first thing I'll comment on is the Rock. So I grew up, one of the DC shows I grew up on was Crypto the Superdog, which I loved. If you've never seen that show, it's a really funny, cute show where it's Superman's dog and Batman's dog, and they go around saving the day. The fact that the Rock is in it as Crypto is weird. He seems more like an Ace the Bat Hound voice than, because and again, I'm basing this solely off of the Crypto I grew up on, which was like, oh man, this is great. And like, I'm not saying the Rock can't play that. I'll be interested to see that. A new Batman show for Bruce Timm. Obviously, I'm a big Batman the Animated Series fan. Batman Mask of Phantasm, one of my favorite comic book movies. So obviously, him being attached to a new Batman show is fantastic. Going off of what Manning said, Batman Brave and the Bold is the last Batman animated series I've watched. So I know there are a lot that have come out since then. I haven't caught them, so I don't know where Batman is and where people fall in. Do they like the more recent stuff or not? New Superman show. Obviously, I'm a Superman guy, so I'm intrigued to see what this is. I know people were losing their shit over the like one, like, I'm not even gonna call it a screenshot, like concept art piece. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And I said this, me and Michael K had this conversation, and I'm like, Superman has been around for over 80 years. During those 80 years, both himself and his world have gone through multiple changes. You'd think, at the least, you wait until you see a trailer or a clip. Like, it's a concept art. it looks like they're doing, and I'm probably the only person here who's ever seen this. It looks like they're trying to do, and again, I'm wrong, maybe, but Superboy from the 80s, that series, to where it was like kind of a younger Clark Kent, because in that continuity, Superboy is Superman, like all this stuff. But it seems like they're kind of doing that, which I'm fine with. So a younger, kind of more April O'Neil-ish Lois Lane, I'm fine with. As long as you, I think, so long as you stay true to the essence of Superman and Lois, I totally look. Terry Hatcher and Erica Durance's Lois Lanes are both different, and they're both great for different reasons. Chris Reeves and Tom Welling are both different interpretations of Clark Kent, and they're both great for different reasons. Like, I'm totally fine to see what this one is. Am I going to love it? Maybe not, but you know what? Maybe I'm not going to love this new Bruce Timm Batman show. We'll have to wait and see, but I think people need to cool their jets, since, like I said, it was literally like a concept art piece.
And just to, sorry, Malcolm.
I'm pretty much done. I spoke about Superman.
I was gonna say, just to let you know, Matt, from the research I did on it when putting together the stuff I had for last night, you hit the nail on the head. They've said basically it'll be Superman during, the exact words they used were his formative years.
So college, yeah, that's the Superboy, the first season, which is really the only one I ever watched growing up. It was him in college, so Smallville, kind of that era stuff, which is, I love Smallville. Malcolm knows. So I watched the pilot yesterday on a car ride coming home from upstate. So because Smallville's great, people. Yeah, I heard about Smallville.
But yeah, I mean, but yeah, there's not really. There wasn't really much that I wanted to talk about myself. I still got to see the first Attack the Block movie to see if I.
I'm excited.
I'm interested in seeing the second one. I'm excited about the fact we're getting a TV series of the Vindicators as a spin-off, because it's definitely one of those segments and like episodes of Rick and Morty, which I found really interesting. And the fact is, like,
which was the Vindicators?
That was the superhero parody group.
The one where they were going through the tunnel with all the challenges, right? And they kept like taking one out at every room.
Yeah.
I do want to comment on just 2 more news stories, but after you're done, Malcolm, because 2 just popped into my head from your long list.
I'll find it myself.
Malcolm, while you're looking that up, I want to comment really quick. 1, Injustice. I love those games. I love the comics based on those. The last scene of the Snyder Cut gave me Injustice vibes, so I would love to see an Injustice movie. And then second, Robot Chicken spinoff. Robot Chicken is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So any spinoff, like tonight is their Archie special. I can't wait to see it. So like any more Robot Chicken content, even if it's a spinoff, I don't care. I trust Seth Green and Breckin Meyer to just give me something hilarious. So yeah.
These are the Vindicators.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. Yeah, okay, so that's great.
Before.
Now that I know what they are, I can be more excited about it because I know they've done multiple team ups of characters. So it's just like, which one is that one?
Yeah. And last one I'm actually going to talk about is I'm really excited for getting a Cher biopic. Because and like in my opinion, it's about time. Like she's been in the music business for ages. So I'm glad we're going to get to see. I do not know who you would get to cast as Cher, because I can't think of anyone at this stage.
I know who could do it, Malcolm. And the thing is they worked with Cher before. I think Nicolas Cage. I'd be amazing. I worked with her at Moonstruck. Nicolas Cage
Moonlighting, right? That's what it's called?
Moonstruck. Moonlighting was the Bruce Willis show. I've never seen that movie. So,
No, there's
I'm
Moonlighting
now
and
trying to
Moonstruck.
imagine Nicolas Cage singing "Believe."
that when you're talking about it, I can't
Do
say
you
how many times when
believe
Moonlighting was
hip-hop?
coming out that I was like, why is everyone talking about this Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis rom-com show from the 80s? And then I'm like, it is not that.
I did not know there was a rom com with Bruce Willis with that.
Yeah,
name.
that was what that's why no one took Die Hard seriously before it came out, because they were like, really?
Wow.
Second bill to Sybil Shepherd on Tuesday nights on ABC is in an action movie?
That's
Okay.
crazy to think about.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a TV show I'd love to see made done as
Modern
a
times.
movie.
I honestly think if you got the right, because that was the thing, Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, even though they kind of hated each other, were really good on screen. If you got the right pairing, I totally think a Moonlighting show could work today.
Well, no, what I meant is do a sequel series or a movie with Bruce Willis and Sybil
Well, they
Shepherd.
kind of hate each other, so if they got a lot of money, they might do it again. I'd watch it, but I don't know if. Well,
I don't think they hate each other that much. She was at his roast.
I feel like I know at the time they kind of. It might be an age thing, but I know at the time during the show there was kind of like a clashing.
She was at his roast a couple years ago.
Yeah, I
They
know.
don't
I
hate
was
each other
about to
that
say
much.
it.
Yeah. No,
Maybe
it's one of
Morgan
those ones.
showed up.
Like, I have heard the stories that what you're talking about, Matt, about them hating each other, which is why it got cancelled early, because that they got to a point where they just didn't want to go on. But
Yeah, the network.
I think it's one of those ones. After time, they probably
time
had
heals
spent
all
some
wounds.
time apart.
Because I think if I know the story correctly, a lot of it did come from like, who's the true star of this show? Is it Sybil Shepherd? Is it Bruce Willis? And I think it was just egos, which it's the stupidest shit in the world. Just get off your egos, people. Unless you're Sylvester Stallone or Kurt Russell, then have whatever ego you want.
Moonlighting's the reason we started naming those types of shows after one of the characters.
Yeah, so you're like, this is who the star is, okay?
Who's the lead of Castle? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion, right?
Yes.
But that is all the news that we've got. I mean, but we're going to move on to. I mean, there may have been more that dropped. Those are the more notable ones that I saw that I wanted to throw in here. And I chose to avoid the big discussion, which is Warner Media and Discovery all over the place. I'm pretty sure they brought out the DC news to try and throw the attention off that.
The purchase,
like,
yeah.
It's like, oh shit, they found out about purchase. Let's see what made up DC.
Look at all this new
Not
content going to this streaming site that's not going to get canceled. No.
I was gonna say,
Come on.
not to derail your show, but did you see the other big purchase that might happen that came out?
Amazon
With
and
MGM.
Yep, Amazon's trying to buy.
Scary
MGM.
time. Scary
Really?
time.
I'm okay with that because I saw stories there where like if Amazon buys MGM, that means all of the James Bond movies will be on Prime, and I was like,
And apparently, like from what I read, the number they put in, because like I guess Apple tried to go in
I was
and they
gonna
went
say
in with
Apple
like
tried to
6
buy it.
billion. Apparently, the number that Amazon presented was closer to 10 billion, which is insane considering how poor MGM's done over the last few years. Like,
but
good for them.
But the thing is Amazon, just thinking from Prime, they get their entire catalog of stuff if they get them, which is
200
huge for Prime. And you get so many classic movies if you buy it.
Wizard of Oz will be there.
Wizard of Oz would be there. Like I said,
No.
all the James Bond movies would be there. Like,
Although
just
it
those two
will be
alone.
interesting to see what would happen with Wizard of Oz because I do not know how this rights issue works because I know Disney owns Oz in general now, but they may. I mean, they might come up with deals
Even
that
then,
Disney
you look
can
at you would
get
get
the Wizard of Oz
Rocky,
onto
you
Disney
get
Plus.
Great Escape. I know the Legally Blonde movies. That's MGM. Like you would get a lot of movies that reach out to a lot of different people.
Can I get the trailer that's trying to sell to fans of The Great Escape and Legally Blonde? Like
I
that's your two
remember
audiences
growing
for
up-
marketing.
The reason why I know this is because growing up, on the Spaceballs DVD, because they own Spaceballs as well, it would be like it would go past and would literally go from like it would be like Pierce Brosnan GoldenEye to Reese Witherspoon in I was gonna say House Bunny because she's dressed as Bunny in Legally Blonde to Steve McQueen on the motorcycle, and then it would end with Rocky. And so that's why whenever I think of MGM, I just think of like those 4 movies back to back.
But anyway, time going to the main topic. I started the discussion on Tape Free Page a while back with the intention of doing this as a late night topic. Then I thought, screw it, I'll do late night this weekend. That will be the topic.
Perfect.
But before I get onto the fun thing that Matt is dreading, just in general, Matt, what are some of your favorite sort of voice acting performances from?
Yeah, so Malcolm, I did actually sit down and I did my list of 30. I'm obviously not going to read off my list, but just looking, I'll go through some of my favorites. Obviously, I'll get the big one out of the way. Robin Williams is the genie.
Yeah.
Just masterful. Just everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. Some of my other favorites are Mark Hamill is and forever will be my favorite Joker. Just what he's been able to do over beyond the animated series, because obviously he's been in the Arkham games, he's been in the Killing Joke movie, like so many things. That voice is just so like it's to the point to where like in the same way that when I read a Batman comic, I hear Michael Keaton's Batman, I read Mark Hamill's Joker, which I know some people they're like it's kind of, but like that's just how my brain like that's the voices I'm hearing. So my other favorites, Eartha Kitt as Yasma from Emperor's New Groove. She's so freaking great in that. Pull the lever, crunk. It's fantastic. Matt Lantern as Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars series, fantastic. D. Bradley Baker in everything from Ben 10 to Bad Batch. He's always fantastic. Holly Hunter in The Incredibles. I think she's awesome. Sam Witwer, Darth Maul, and can I say Galen Merrick as well? Video games are voice acting. And then to just stop piling on, Michael J. Fox is Stuart Little. I think he's fantastic as Stuart Little. And he was on my list. And if he's not on this, I'll understand, but I'll also be sad.
Aaron, what are some of your favorite voice acting performances?
So unfortunately, because I'm so prepared, I did not bring an actual full list of 30. But
that's okay.
Well, there we go. Now I don't feel so bad. But what I did think about was I wanted to think of performances that people may not necessarily go to, because like I feel like obviously as you get towards the bottom of a top 30, like the specifics will start to change for certain people. But I was trying to think of performances that people may not necessarily gravitate to immediately for one reason or another. So some of the ones that I came up with, these two are more recent, but I think as one-off voice performances, I think they serve the purpose of the film really well. The first one being Richard Kind as Bing Bong in Inside Out. What that character's purpose is there to serve in that film, and the fact that without even realizing it, you so emotionally connect to a character that you really don't know, because there's not a lot of character to him. It's just all in his performance that it can make you emotional if you're connected to the film by the time that he dies, is a real credit to his performance. Another one that came to mind, and again, this is just thinking of like recent movies, I thought Shameik Moore in Into the Spider-Verse did a really great job as Miles Morales. Because again, it's a animation character that has a lot more emotional complexity than I think when you go to some of the older performances, or especially the legends who have done a lot of TV work. There's more emotional complexity in it, and I thought he did a really good job. Also, and this is more just a fun fact, the other one that came to my mind was for one specific thing, but in The Lion King, everyone goes obviously to James Earl Jones or Jeremy Irons. For me, one of the ones that's incredible is Jim Cummings. So for people who don't know, obviously Jim Cummings is one of the all-time voice actors. But on The Lion King, when Jeremy Irons was performing
I
Be
know the story.
Prepared, I believe he like messed his vocal cords up and he had an issue with his throat and he couldn't perform it correctly. But they only had, if you can correct me, please correct the specifics.
It wasn't that he messed his vocal cords up. It's just he could not hit that high note that they needed for the end, and so they had to bring Jim Cummings to do it. Yeah.
And so, well, it's not just that end note. There was something else there, but there were certain pieces of the song that he didn't hit, like the notes, he just didn't hit it for whatever reason. And so, especially towards the latter half of that song, there are places where line for line they're flipping between Jeremy Irons and Jim Cummings interpreting Jeremy Irons' voice in the song, and then obviously the end note is Jim Cummings. And I don't think enough respect, especially in the modern day where all the big animated films are just stars and stars and stars, that a lot of respect doesn't get put on those traditional voice actors anymore. To do something like that and to literally line for line switch out who is singing that line, and you would never know if you don't know the story behind it, is incredible testament to what real voice acting can be.
Also, just talking about Lion King and Jim Cummings, he's what's the name of the hyena?
Is it Ed?
Yeah, it's Ed. He's Ed. Which is just like, how he still has a voice from doing all that stuff, I'll never know.
He's also
Great
Winnie
question.
the Pooh.
Yeah, he's Winnie the Pooh, which is so sweet.
But Manning, what are some of your favorite voice acting performances?
A couple of the ones that I really wanted to highlight is just kind of like the voice cast, the duo, the dynamic duo of Eartha Kitt and Patrick Warburton. What they do as Kronk and Yzma. The two of them together, it's just like, Kuzco, here's the way he talks. It's great. I can't do it because it's so low and so deep, but the intonation, it's just comedic genius. And which is why, like, I think that movie is incredibly underrated for its comedy. Maybe not for its story, but for its comedy, to say the least, and how they are a fantastic pair. The pull the lever sequence is still one of my favorite things. And also, Scarlett Johansson in Her, and what she does with Samantha. Samantha is one of the more dramatic roles because if you think of voice acting performances. Wait, what was that? What was that, Abe?
I told you that one the other day. The Dead Gone with the Wind. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. I couldn't hear you for a second. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, that I told you that one the other day. Do you remember?
I remember, like, that was, and I think that's, I do. Hello? No. Can you hear us?
No, you're good.
Can you hear us? I'm not sure if I can hear us, but no, like,
Abe, don't be a voice actor.
No, I was agreeing. So yes, I agree with you, Abe. I don't know if you can hear me, but I agree with you. No, bad internet. Yes, we agree, Abe. And Samantha is, I think, one of the best. There's depth too.
I still haven't seen that movie. I have.
We can hear you. We can't hear you.
It lagged for a second.
It's laggy, but we can hear you. I do think it's a great vocal performance, and it's very criminally underrated. For we fall in love with her as a character without even seeing her. So it's just kind of that's impressive to be able to do. It's just a voice. It's just an entity. Also, one that's criminally underrated is Robbie Benson as the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. The depth that he does with his vocals, to the point to where you miss the Beast when you said you get the Prince back, and it's like, wait, I want the Beast back. Because he's a lot more interesting of a character, and especially with what he does with his voice.
Do you know a line that they had in like one of the original drafts of the script because of that reason was Belle asking, I don't even know the prince's name, but like if he might think about growing a beard.
It's like Adam, yeah.
Yeah, but she's like, do you think you might grow a beard? But they were like, nah, we can't because
Wasn't that in the remake? Didn't they put that in the remake?
I think that was in the remake.
I saw the remake once. So I remember
I remember that vaguely, and I was like, yes, please put the beard on, sir. You need the beard on, mister.
In the 90s, they can get away with it, bestiality.
No, let's not do that. But no, I will end it there because for time's sake, that's all I want to highlight.
But anyway, Abe, what are some of your favorite voice acting performances?
Okay, I move a little bit to see if my internet works. Do you hear me better? Okay,
Yes.
that's better. The way I told you guys before starting, like most of animated movies as a kid, I watched in Spanish as well. That's what it is. So probably most of my favorite voice performances are in Spanish, and I will not add anything to the conversation because you guys probably won't hear it. But my favorite one, like recent one, it has to be Bradley Cooper for Rocket. I was thinking of that one. Like I don't think many was thinking about that because he's truly the best character from the series. I think he's the heart from the movies. James Gunn says it himself. Like everything falls without Rocket, and you feel for Rocket the whole time, and that's because what Bradley Cooper does also. His voice is unrecognizable. Like you can barely hear what Bradley Cooper's real voice is in Rocket. What else?
I have
I
to
recently-
say with Rocket Raccoon, he has my favorite understated line in that first movie, which is when they're trying to plan the escape from the prison, and they're like talking about how they're gonna do everything, and he's talking to Gwen, he's like, I don't know if these ball bags find you kind of attractive, and she's like, you can't be serious, and he's like, no, really, I hear they find you attractive. Like just the delivery of that line and how he does it kills me every time.
But yeah, I mean, for me, like a lot of them might have been said. Like I like Robin Williams as a genie,
Mhm.
and all that. But also some of the ones that I feel that people keep forgetting are voice acting performances is Andy Serkis as Gollum is great.
Yeah.
I've had a big debate with RJ about this the other day. It's like, oh, but yeah, he's mocap, and like he's still like he's acting like you don't see his body. He's still voice acting, even though it's a mocap performance. It is still voice acting. And it's one of those ones that's definitely shown the advancement of the way voice acting is when many, especially when it comes to live action movies, so many people going to do mocap stuff now. Like you've got Josh Brolin as Thanos, and all that.
Well, you have Sean Gunn
Mhm.
talk about Rocket Raccoon. He does Rocket Raccoon and all the stuff.
Can I mention
Oh, yeah,
another
yeah.
one? I like Baldwin in The Boss Baby. I just want Matt to comment on that one.
Have you guys heard about this movie called Boss Baby?
Hey.
Alec
Hey.
Baldwin as said Boss Baby. Because let me
No.
tell you this. Let's start from the very, very
That movie
Malcolm.
fucking sucked.
Malcolm. Thank God. Oh, also Ramesses and the Prince of Egypt. That's a great vocal performance.
Is that
from Ray
Rafe?
Fiennes.
That's
Ray
Ray
Fiennes.
Fiennes.
Yes. That's it.
Brilliant.
I'm done.
Yeah. That whole movie.
But-
Underrated.
Movie. I know, right?
With
They
that,
better
well,
not make a
Matt-
sequel to that like they are to Spirit.
Oh Lord, no, that'd be weird. It's basically Moses, the Ten Commandments.
But while Matt continues a silent rant about the Boss Baby, I'm going to bring
Movie
up
sucks,
the
dude.
bracket.
He's got the bracket. Oh, he's got the bracket. Oh.
Oh, there's a real bracket. Oh, here we go.
But yeah, basically what I did is with everyone that sent me a list, I compiled.
It's a Wonderful Life. Rocky.
Oh, okay, still going.
But what I did is I took everyone's lists that they put on the post and compiled them all together. I threw in a couple of lists I found online as well to bolster up, as there would have been some like classic voice actors that would have been left off. Because a lot of this I got had performances from very recent times, so it's like I wanted to
Smart.
mix it up, so it's
Oh.
a really challenging thing.
Can I shout out one more before we get started? Because it's actually a show I just finished from the 90s. Like the entire cast of the original Animaniacs series, which I technically think is the cast of the reboot too, because that's got Rob Paulson, Jess Harnell, Tress MacNeille, Maurice LaMarche, all these classic voice actors that have been in a million things you've seen and you still don't know their name. It's a great show. It really is funny.
But with that being said, the first matchup that we have is in my opinion a slightly tough one because they're both really iconic roles, but we've got Robin Williams as the genie up against Tom Kenny as SpongeBob. Matt.
Lawrence of Arabia ain't got shit on Boss Baby.
Anyway, Matt.
what's
Enough
up,
about the Boss Baby.
He had muted him too soon.
Robin Williams as a genie or Tom Kenny as SpongeBob? Which one do you think is the best?
I really like Tom Kenny as SpongeBob, which, by the way, SpongeBob movie, Alec Baldwin is in that movie.
Oh.
He's also the Boss Baby. I think
performance.
Tom Kenny is incredible.
I'm sorry,
Considering the fact that SpongeBob is the longest running Nick property, that means Tom Kenny is the longest running actor in a Nick series, which is pretty fantastic. But Robin Williams is the king, because the thing about the genie is you get humor and heart, and you feel sad for him. Like that moment when Aladdin tells him that like he can't use his third wish to let him go. I mean, the setup to is great, to where he has the script and he's like, the line is, I'm going to set the genie free anytime. Remember, be yourself. But then you also get like, all right, you get like Jack, and it's just incredible. You get the impressions, but it's not just impressions. He's also great in King of Thieves. I love him in King of Thieves as well.
And I thought Dan Castellan
but
it really tried in the other one.
Yeah,
He tried.
he.
I mean, I don't hate Dan Castellan as the
Oh, I
genie.
don't hate
I
it.
don't hate it.
I
But
mean,
it's
it's
just
like-
like
You got put in a bad corner, man. You're
It's-
trying to imitate Robin Williams.
your fault. Okay, it's essentially it's kind of like George Lazenby being Bond after Sean Connery. Like, you did a good job, but you're not Sean. And then the same thing happens. One movie later, he's back. So you're just gonna be lost.
I mean, only one of those actors returned to voice the genie in Kingdom Hearts. That's all I'm saying.
When did Kingdom Hearts come out? Because that might be an insensitive comment to me.
Not the original, not the original.
2004 or 3.
Okay. Well, also Robin Williams is notorious. He has problems with Disney because of what they did with the genie
Yes.
character. But
Yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts came out in 2000, so
2000. Oh my god.
because I'm like,
so I mean, but anyway, Aaron,
Cancel
Robin Williams or Tom
cancel
Kenny?
I have a lot of respect for Tom Kenny. He's another one of those he's one of the few voice actors that's been in a million things you don't realize that actually got a role that really defined him and made his name. Unfortunately, SpongeBob should have drowned in 2004 after that film, and it's just been limping along for years. Because Robin Williams, not only does he bring an actual great performance, but he also brings the creativity to the role. I mean, there's the story of how they submitted the script for the Academy, and the Academy actually rejected the chance at submission because almost everything Robin did wasn't in the script. That's just all creativity that he brought to the character. So it's got to be Robin Williams.
well, and also there's the story of how they got him to be the genie. Was they took one of his stand-ups and they just animated the genie with his stand-up, and that's kind of what convinced him to do it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It feels like it, but it's good.
Manning, Robin Williams or Tom Kenny?
At this point, it's just kind of a broken record. We're all going to say Robin Williams, I can almost confidently say. And I'm going to add on to that. Nothing but respect and love to SpongeBob, a character who really probably defined a lot of us growing up in that age range. Those who saw on that cusp of the two, when it premiered in 1999, that cusp of the century. And a lot of fond memories, but this is also Robin Williams as the genie, a career-defining performance for him that kind of it's the embodiment of Robin Williams, and he brought such life to the character. As you're right, Matt, I was literally gonna say he's not just impressions. So you put the nail on the head. He was a lot more than that. He had dramatic, he had weight, and he had comedy. He had everything you need to in a fantastic performance that to this day I think should have been a supporting acting nominee that year.
Yeah, me too. I think if voice acting ever got the credit it deserves, Robin Williams. I mean, that movie came out, 92? So I don't know
Yeah.
who won that year, but Robin Williams could have been contender. Now I'm gonna look that up.
But Abe, Robin Williams, or Tom Kenny?
I mean, do you guys? I want to. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. I watched Latin like in English because Robin Williams. Well, like I was not impressed because I don't know. I think it was way too high up for me. And when I watch SpongeBob in Spanish or in English, I still really like the most SpongeBob. So I'm gonna go Tom Kenny. I don't care.
Okay, so
I get
looked
his
it up.
logic.
So the person who won that year for Best Supporting Actor was Gene Hackman in Unforgiven.
Oh, he's not beating him.
Ooh.
No, but a
Um,
nomination would have been great. Not just cool.
I mean, look, we could totally take out. Let's see. I feel like Jane Davidson in The Crying Game. Get him out.
But yeah. With that being said, I mean, Robin's moving on anyway. It's just not going to be it's clean sweep is what I thought it was going to be. But
Abe's
I
just
would
here to screw with
I would have
everything.
gone Robin Williams anyway. So Robin Williams moves on. Next up, we've got Eartha Kitt as Yzma up against Amy Poehler as Joy.
Ooh.
I'm going to start with Aaron on this one.
My instinct is to go with Amy Poehler because I like that movie more. But I actually think she's probably the third best performance in that film. And as somebody who's really not a fan of The Emperor's New Groove, Eartha Kitt and as Manny said, Eartha Kitt and Patrick Warburton make that film, and she is legitimately great in it. Like, she makes what would be a bad movie at least a decent movie for me. So I'm actually going to go with Eartha Kitt.
Wow.
Manning, what do you say about Eartha Kitt?
I mean,
Amy Poehler.
This is a perfect matchup of like 17-16 for me. This is like really, really close because I love both of these performances for very different reasons. I'm going to have to keep consistency while I think Eartha Kitt, no, Eartha Kitt as Yzma is the more, when it comes to, I'm going to keep my logic when I said that while Genie had drama, he had comedy. So does Amy Poehler, I think. And I think she brings a dramatic weight that Eartha Kitt's Yzma does not have. While it's more iconic, perhaps, I think Amy Poehler's moment of realizing that sadness and joy can go together still gets me because I love Inside Out to death. And I think that is a great sequence in what she does with the transition for Amy Poehler, or transition for Amy Poehler's Joy. It's a great vocal performance. So I'm going to go Joy.
Abe, Amy Poehler, or Eartha Kitt?
Amy Poehler. I won't give any more arguments about it. No question. No preguntas. Just that she's crazy good in that movie, and I don't think we appreciate since as much as we should. Manning left. I think he wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go Eartha Kitt. I'm not the biggest fan of Emperor's New Groove myself, but Eartha Kitt is great. And I mean, I do love Amy Poehler as Joy, but I do think what Eartha Kitt does with Yzma is that little bit better. Anyway, so Matt, it's on you. Eartha Kitt or Amy Poehler?
I'm going Eartha Kitt. I'm going Eartha Kitt, and here's why. I think Amy Poehler is great as Joy, but, and people are going to hate me for this, it does at points feel Leslie Knope just as an emotion, like a lot of, which I love Leslie Knope, but that's why Eartha Kitt as Yzma, I have to give it to her. I still think what Manning was talking about, that's it. Oh, and he laughed as I give him credit, but that was great. But it's just like Eartha Kitt is just incredible in that movie, and in The Emperor's New School, which I looked up to make sure she does voice the character in that show, and she's again fantastic in that show. Is that on
Thank you
Disney
for the
Plus?
credit.
I hope so, because I will gladly watch that show again.
The next matchup is going to be an interesting one. We've got Andy Serkis as Gollum up against Levi Stubbs as
But
Audrey 2 from
Andy
Little Shop of
Serkis isn't
Horrors.
a voice actor.
And I'm going to start on Manning.
Don't say anything.
I
Just
like-
say what you're gonna say.
No, I like Aubrey too, but I'm going with Gollum. Absolutely, like it's gonna be Gollum. But I like Aubrey. I like the performance of Aubrey too. That's another iconic voice. But Gollum is beyond. He is Andy Serkis is Gollum. Gollum is Andy Serkis, and that is what he will be known. Wow, my voice is just gone now. What in the world? I'm dying, everybody.
So happy.
I'm so happy that Andy Serkis. No, Andy Serkis is Gollum is absolutely what I want to do for this one.
Abe, Gollum, Audrey 2.
And this is Gollum. I think you guys can say everything you want, but like that guy, that voice is iconic. Honestly, like you hear the impressions, like even many right now. But was that impression or you were literally dying?
I was literally dying. That was not an impression. Literally, I was just dying.
But anyway, I'm going Gollum easily.
Wow, really?
Matt, Gollum or Audrey 2?
I really think I have to go Andy Serkis. No, we want to go Audrey too. No, let's go Andy Serkis. No, it's not even a real voice performance, but he's doing the mocap and the voice. No, we want to go Audrey too. No, yes, no. No, Audrey 2 is great. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. Do I look inanimate to you? But Gollum. Honestly, though, fuck it. I'm going Audrey 2 because Gollum's already going to win. And you know what? The more I think about it, Audrey 2 is a great performance, and I wanna give Levi Stubbs some credit.
But anyway, Aaron, Gollum, Audrey 2.
So I just want to state for the record, I actually disagree with the argument that mocap is voice acting. I actually think it deserves more credit than that because there is a physical aspect to it. That said, I don't make the list, and I hate arguing semantics. It's the better performance of these two, Gollum.
Look, Aaron, if Gollum wasn't on this list, Malcolm would have been like put in prison or something in his country. If he didn't vote for him, he'd really be in trouble. I feel like whatever the New Zealand version of the FBI is, they're just listening to Malcolm. They're like,
So we got eyes on this guy. If he doesn't vote for Lord of the Rings, we bust him.
I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those ones that when I did the thing, I did say that mocap is because I do because I mean it's one of those ones like especially if you watch like videos of Robin Williams doing the voice in the sound booth. Some voice actors do put a lot more into it than just sitting there reading the lines, and so like
Cumberbatch crawled around on the floor. Like,
but the next one we have is our good friend Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant up against Kathleen Turner as Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And Abe, I'm going to start with you.
I usually pause Who Frames Roger Rabbit many times when watching the movie. I just want to say that. So Kathleen Turner.
That doesn't have to do with the voice. You like the person who
He
drew
watched
her.
it. He probably watched it in Spanish.
Yeah.
No, I watched that one in English. I watched that one.
Okay, all right. I was giving you an out there, man.
I'm saying the foolish.
Even pausing so that he can hear her line delivery again. That's what say. You listen to that movie on mute. Let's just say that.
All right, Malcolm.
But yeah, I'm going to go Kathleen Turner for this as well. I like Vin Diesel, but I like him better as Groot than I do for Iron Giant. I think it's just fine. Matt, Vin Diesel or Kathleen
Vin Diesel.
Turner?
It's Vin Diesel. With the limited dialogue he has, he still brings me to tears at the end of that movie. I've seen that movie, I don't know how many times, and every time that he says, I go, you stay, no falling, and then there's the voiceover of Hogarth saying, you are who you choose to be, and he goes, Superman. Just every time. So it's Vin Diesel. Kathleen Turner's great, but she don't bring me to tears when I listen to her. I laugh at her when she delivers a funny line, but
You bring me to
Aaron-
another feeling that it's not you.
Aaron, Vin Diesel, or Kathleen Turner?
I mean, I do cry at Jessica Rabbit, but it's tears of joy, and it's not because of her performance. So I'm gonna go with Vin Diesel from the Iron Giant.
Oh no.
And to be fair, she's great, but I actually agree with Matt's reasoning. There's not more I could add to it. So
So Manning, it's on you. Vin Diesel or Kathleen Turner?
Well, okay, so
Abe's
don't
going to
think
watch
these
Who
are-
Framed Roger Rabbit again.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think either of these are fantastic performances. They're very, in comparison to what we've seen so far on the list, they don't really add much, other than I guess like the intonation of what they say in certain lines, but they just don't have a lot of versatility.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm going to probably have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Iron Giant for this one, mainly because I think there is more emotive weight. While I think Jessica Rabbit is more of an iconic character for some other particular reasons, I think when it comes to voice work, the Iron Giant, Vin Diesel, 2 reasons. Yes, very two.
Some people would say 3.
Some
And
people
Vin
would
Diesel causes the upset.
agreed.
Oh my.
Yes.
Next
I'm
up,
not
we've got
upset.
Jeremy Irons as Scar up against Patton Oswalt as Remy. And it's on me, and this is very easy for me. I like Ratatouille. It's great. But Jeremy Irons is the better voice actor out of these two. Matt.
I really love Ratatouille is one of my favorite Pixar movies. I think Patton Oswalt is so good, and there's so many I really love how he's able to be like you feel so bad for him when he's in the sewers by himself when he gets separated from his family. But I also just love like the excitement he has, when his brother's just like he's trying to figure out the name for the flavor, and he's like lightning. He's like, it's lightning. But Jeremy Irons, that is my son and your future king. Oh, I shall practice my curtsy. But then he also gets like, no. That king, like he just gets to play the asshole, like my brother's always been better than me, and then like now I'm in charge, like screw you. Like that scene when he's like talking about like the hyenas and the lions are going to join together, it's just an incredible, is one of the greatest villain performances in the Disney movie, and I gotta give it to Hans Gruber's little brother.
Aaron,
Yes, you're right. My brother was an asshole.
Jeremy Irons or Patton Oswalt?
It's Scar.
Manning, Jeremy Irons or Patton Oswalt?
I love Ratatouille, and I think Patton Oswalt does a great job. But this is Jeremy Irons' Scar all the way.
Abe, Jeremy Irons or Patton Oswalt?
I agree with my companions.
So I guess you could say Jeremy Irons exterminated Remy. Was that too bad?
Next up is going to be a tough one. Orson Welles as Unicron from Transformers the movie. Mark Hamill up against Mark Hamill as the Joker. Matt, I'm starting on you.
Of course you are. Crap, this is tough because Transformers the movie from '86 is one of my all-time favorite animated movies. It's my favorite Transformers movie, bar none. I think Orson Welles' Unicron is really great. It's also incredible when like you hear the story that he had like no freaking clue what he was doing. Like he thought it was a toy that was out, and like the toy wasn't even made at the time. He's very like scary as this just like impending unending force. But Mark Hamill, you want to talk about being scary with so little? and then also being able to make you laugh. I think the best Mark Hamill, well, one of the best Mark Hamill is in The Man Who Killed Batman when he does the eulogy, and he's just like, he's talking about like how Batman's gone, and then just like at the very end, it's just like, who wants to get Chinese? Without Batman, life has no punchline. It's Mark Hamill, though I think Unicron is fantastic. And I'm going to say now, because he's probably not on the list, I'm mad on myself for leaving out Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, since that's my favorite Transformers character. But yeah, it's
That's the key for the Colts, right? Hot Rod?
What?
Right? That's the key for the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, Hot Rod? No? Nobody watches football? No?
But anyway, Aaron, Mark Hamill or Orson Welles?
I could say tons of great things about Mark Hamill's Joker, but my way of qualifying my vote can be quicker said by saying I've never seen the 86 Transformers movie, so I have to vote for Mark Hamill.
It's a really good movie. I really recommend
I've heard. I've just
It's-
never been able to,
It's coming
Meaning-
out on 4K, and the pre-order on
Perfect.
Shout Factory is tomorrow. I can't wait. Because I missed out on the Blu-ray from Shout Factory, so I'm going to get the 4K since it comes with the Blu-ray.
Meaning Mark Hamill or Orson Welles?
Ditto for what Aaron said. I've never seen that Transformers movie before, and in fact, Mark Hamill is the Joker. So
yeah.
Abe, Mark Hamill or Orson Welles?
My friend Orson, he's a great actor. Well, no, Mark Hamill, honestly. His voice critic.
Your friend Orson.
Yeah, I've
Look,
also
man,
never seen
I
the.
do have friends.
with a dead man. That's what I'm curious
maybe.
about.
I've
You're right, you're right.
also
I'm sorry.
never seen the Transformers movie. I've already seen the better Transformer movies anyway, but
Ooh,
Oh,
big words.
okay.
Big balls.
but it's easily go Mark Hamill for me. Next up, we've got Josh Gad as Olaf up against Cliff Edwards as Jiminy Cricket. Aaron, I'm going to start with you.
Oh my god. I like Josh Gad in a lot of things, and I think that he's fine in the first Frozen. I thought he was fucking annoying in Frozen 2, and that plays into it. So I'm gonna go with Jiminy Cricket, also because I think it's not the first performance you'd think of, but that character is remembered as such a classic character, and the performance has everything to do with it.
Manning, Josh Gad or Cliff Edwards?
Oh, Cliff Edwards gives the best vocal performance in that movie, and then he also gave a great vocal performance for When You Wish Upon a Star, because that is now
Yes.
circulating wherever you go for, and that he sang that, and that enough gets the go ahead. I like Olaf fine. I think Frozen was over again. I think everyone's going to tell you Frozen was overhyped, but I don't blame that on people. I blame that on the kids who just sang it everywhere. So, but
Let
Cliff
it
Edwards.
go, let it go.
No, let's just say no.
Abe, Josh Gad or Cliff Edwards?
I want to be that guy. I just love Ola in both Frozen. And also, I never seen Pinocchio in English. So
But have
Oh,
you heard
I wa-
Once Upon a Time? Wait, Once Upon a Time. Wish Upon a Star.
Upon a
yes, I have.
star.
No, but like, I think whatever. Like, honestly, I do love Ola. Like, the first person I truly love. The second one not that much, but still.
In
summer.
But yeah, I'm also going to be that guy. I like Josh Gad. I think Cliff Edwards Jiminy Cricket is fine. But I think Josh Gad is amazing as Olaf. And to everyone that keeps saying Frozen is overhyped, just let it go already. People have been, you've said it's been said already.
You're right. You're right. It has been said.
But which means, Matt, it's on you. Cliff Edwards or Josh Gad as Olaf.
Cliff Edwards, Josh Gad. I saw Frozen once when I was babysitting a kid, and like Josh Gad played the annoying comedic sidekick like he was asked to play. But Cliff Edwards is like, that's just one of the classic Disney voices in Pinocchio, so I gotta give it up to Cliff Edwards.
Woo! Go back.
I will say something that's not overrated from the Frozen franchise. I don't know why Into the Unknown was pushed as the song from the second film. That other one she sings, like Don't, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called, but that's a way better song.
Which one?
Into the Unknown.
No, not that one. What's the other one? The second one. Is
I
it
thought you
Don't
were about-
Speak or no?
Do you
I
want to build a
don't know.
snowman?
I thought you were about
one?
to say. I thought you were about to say. Out of the Woods. Lost in the Woods. Lost in the Woods.
So Lost in the Woods is great too.
That was. I love
That's
that one.
great.
So good.
I'll find that. But
But anyway, the next matchup we have is Steve Carell as Gru up against Eddie Murphy as Donkey. Manning, we're going to start with you.
that was a great Eddie Murphy. That was
love
actually
it.
really, or no, that was Shrek. You're wrong. That was really good though.
Donkey. Eddie Murphy is Donkey. Yeah, this is by far like I think Steve Carell's Gru is fine, but Donkey is just oh man, him and Puss in Boots like are come when it comes to. In fact, that entire Shrek cast is just so good. Like I have nothing bad to say about any of them. So Eddie Murphy.
Abe, Eddie Murphy, or Steve Carell?
No, I'm going to tell you a story that I won't worry to tell. I cannot watch Shrek in English because I'm so accustomed to that one in Spanish that it's so damn good in Spanish that it's crazy that I cannot stand the one in English. I hate my voice Shrek because it's just
Wow.
so different from what I grew up hearing. Not because it's bad or anything. But Eddie Murphy. I love it because you know who does the voice for that one? His name is Eugenio Derbez.
Oh, is that who does Donkey?
Yeah, in Spanish he is.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I would have been disappointed if Abe voted against Shrek.
Yeah, I just want to give you guys a heads up. Whenever Shrek comes on, I'm voting for that one. So
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Noted.
Eddie Murphy's going to move on regardless because I'm going to give Eddie Murphy my vote. I mean, a lot of people argue that his role as Mushu should have been in this. Spoiler alert, it doesn't make this list.
No, it shouldn't.
I think Donkey is by far the better Eddie Murphy voice performance. I think him as Mushu is annoying. Matt, Steve Carell or Eddie Murphy?
Ouch.
This is kind of difficult. Steve Carell's really good, but I gotta give it up to Eddie Murphy. I'm also really sorry. I apologize, guys, but I'm just trying to make sure everything's set up for because I don't want to miss out on this Shout Factory release.
No,
like
it's
I did the
okay.
last one. I apologize. I'm sorry. That Orson Welles thing just reminded me of that. I'm really sorry. Feel like-
It's fine. Aaron, Steve Carell or Eddie Murphy?
Okay, so to use my speaking time, the song I was thinking of from Frozen 2 is called Show Yourself. That's a way better song than Into the Unknown.
That's what Abe
yeah,
says every time he watches Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He listens to Just Who Rabbit. He's like, show yourself.
Only
Not
one
alike.
of these guys
Not alike.
sensually sang Livin' La Vida Loca while Puss in Boots did the flash dance. It's got to be Eddie Murphy. That's a great. I love that ending of that movie. That's great.
Shrek 2 ending, right?
That's
Don't-
the
don't-
franchise.
Don't make me
But
start
yeah.
about that one.
But next up, we've got
She's
James Earl Jones as Darth Vader up against Eleanor Audley as Maleficent. Abe, I'm going to start with you.
I mean, really? Really? Is that
I'm assuming you mean James Earl Jones has got
Yes.
secret love for Eleanor Audley from
Secret love.
No, he definitely means Eleanor Audley.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, this one's easy for me too. It's James Earl Jones. I do think the Maleficent is great though, but it's James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Matt, James Earl Jones or Eleanor Audley?
Take a freaking guess.
Eleanor Audley.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, like Maleficent to me in that movie was like she puts a curse on a kid because like she didn't get invited to a baptism, which like I've been to baptisms. I was at a 1-year-old's birthday party yesterday. They're boring as shit. They did you a favor. She's only good in that movie when she turns into the dragon at the end and she's not speaking.
I was baptized at 9, and the priest just threw like a fucking bowl of water into my head when I was like, no, I was 11 when I baptized. I have picture of my baptism.
But anyway, Aaron, James Earl Jones or Eleanor Audley?
Well, I do want to say I'm glad to be here for this because now I can finally learn the odd thing I didn't know. Like the voice actress to Maleficent was named Eleanor Audley, and she did do a great job. She is better than Angelina Jolie as Maleficent, but unfortunately, she's not better than her cheekbones, and she's not better than James Earl Jones.
And meaning James Earl Jones or Eleanor Audley?
James Earl Jones. Sorry, Maleficent. Bye.
Oh, at 30 though, damn.
I know.
But I mean, she only made it in because of the added ones I added in here.
From online, okay.
But next up we've got ScarJo and Samantha from Her up against Mike Myers from Shrek. I'm going to go first on this. I've actually never seen Her, so by default I have to vote Shrek. Matt.
I am the exact same as you. I have never seen Her, so I vote Shrek. And honestly, I probably still would vote Shrek anyway. So,
Aaron, ScarJo, or Mike Myers?
Honestly, this is probably, in terms of making a decision, this might be the hardest one because I think they're both great.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, it's a 50-50 coin flip in my head, and just to give her a shot, I'm actually going to vote for Scarlett Johansson because I think what Manning said earlier is a great point. Mike Myers is in an animated film where you get to have a character emote the things that he is saying. Scarlett Johansson is all voice, and there's nothing more skillful than making me. I mean, I'd fuck that phone, and there's nothing more skillful than that. There we go.
On that note, Manning, ScarJo, or Mike Myers?
Someone, please, like, just.
It better watch out.
Oh my. How do I top that? As I said prior, I'm glad that Samantha made it on. The character of Samantha from Her, it is that entire movie is just like is truly a phenomenal film, and I would encourage everyone to go see it about what it means to love in the modern age, or what love actually means. So, Love Actually, didn't mean to do that. This is tough, but I'm gonna go with Scarlett Johansson for Samantha merely because of what she has to do in that performance. As I had mentioned prior, then Aaron basically retweeted me, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it was great.
And I want to see what Abe does.
And Abe, I think I know which way you might be going, but you.
Can you guys hear an echo right now? Or do I sound good?
No,
you're good.
Okay, because my AirPods died, so one AirPod died. I think I lied to myself. Well, this is hard. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I say I will be voting for Shrek for a long time, but it came out in 2013. I was 16, and that movie made me learn things about myself that I didn't know.
And I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Please don't tell. No,
I'm sorry, Mike. I like you, Mike. We're friends. You know we're friends, right? And I want to. No, it's gotta be Scarlett Johansson. Like, honestly.
I mean, you say you're friends, but didn't you say earlier that you really don't like Mike Myers' Shrek?
No, well, in comparison to the Spanish version, well, like, I respect it.
She made it.
To be fair, Shrek is just fat bastard but skinnier. So
Next up, we've got Billy Crystal as Mike Wazowski up against Frank Oz as
Oh.
Yoda. Matt.
You fucking damn it. I love Yoda, and I think he's incredible. And obviously, as a big Muppets person, Frank Oz is one of the goats. He directed one of my favorite movies. So I love him, but I like tried to impersonate Billy Crystal as Mike Wazowski way more grown up as a kid. Oh man, I loved school. I loved playing kickball, all the time. Of course, I was the ball. I can't tell you how many times in my life I have used the line and have attempted to do the inflection of when none of my jokes are landing, as I often don't. These are the jokes, kid. So it's Billy Crystal. I'm sorry, Frank. If Frank moves out, I won't be upset, but still.
So what was that?
he's voting for Billy.
Billy
Yes,
Crystal.
Billy.
Did you not hear me? Did you just?
But Aaron, Billy Crystal or Frank Oz?
Yeah, this is difficult, but for the sake of longevity and being one of the few good things in a mostly not good trilogy, I'm gonna go with Frank Oz as Yoda.
Which
Manning,
you talking
Frank
about,
Oz or
Eric?
Billy
This is in
Crystal?
all three.
The prequels.
I love Yoda, the character of Yoda, but I'm going to be real. Like you have Tom Kane do it for the Clone Wars, and I'm just fine with that because it works. It's not the exact same, but he works. Does it just fine. You couldn't. I would find it hard to find anyone who could replace Billy Crystal and us be like, that's just strange and weird. Mike Wazowski all the way.
Abe, Billy Crystal or Frank Oz?
Mike Wazowski.
The robot Abe has come back.
Robot Abe.
You sound like you got the 30-year smoking thing in your throat.
No, they sound like a one.
You sound like a cast Abe as the Boar King. Yes.
Oh, I don't know what that is. I haven't made it that far in Star Trek.
But anyway, like Billy Crystal's moving on, but I would have gone Frank Oz.
Yeah,
I think
that's
John
right.
Goodman is the better voice in Monsters Inc. And but yeah. But next up,
Scary feet. Oh, a bunk bed.
we've got Patrick Warburton as Kronk up against Tim Allen as Buzz. Aaron, I'm going to start with you on this one.
If Krunk had worse competition, I'd give it to him for the same reason I gave it to Eartha Kitt as Yzma.
Mhm.
But Tim Allen as Buzz is so iconic that even Tim Allen almost getting publicly canceled couldn't get him recast. It's got to be Tim Allen.
I mean, he is getting recast. Chris Evans taking over the role.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. They brought him back.
But Manning, Tim Allen or Patrick Warburton?
I'll be back in 1 second.
I definitely think Tim Allen is the better choice when it comes from acting perspective. But I'm gonna give it to Krunk just because I want to see Krunk get some love. Patrick Warburton, what he did with that character is just delightful.
Abe, Tim Allen or Patrick Warburton?
What? Oh.
But I'm going to go. I mean,
That was great.
I'm going to go Tim Allen because
That was great.
Thank you.
so Tim Allen's moving on. I don't know if Matt is still here. Might have dipped out for a little bit. He's turned his camera off, but so we'll just keep on moving. Tim Allen is making it to round 2 anyway, and nothing Matt says can change that.
Nope.
But next up, we have got Alan from.
Whoa, you guys voted without me? What
I
was
mean,
the
who would you've
outcome
gone
there?
out of Tim? Who would you've gone out of Tim Allen and Patrick Warburton?
Playing if Dylan
Gronk
animated
and
voices.
Buzz
Gronk and
Lightyear.
Buzz, they're
Oh,
only
Buzz Lightyear, easily. Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Who won?
You
Buzz
missed
Buzz.
you missed how Abe voted.
Oh, so good.
Was that what that
Which
buzzing was when I walked away? Was that him?
That,
Yes.
that was Abe.
I thought something broke for a second. I was like, what happened?
It's like buzz.
But anyway, the next matchup we have is Alan from Finding Nemo / Finding Dory and Toby Jones as Dobby. Abe, I'm going to start with you.
You know, I don't cry in the theater as many times in my first 12, 11 years. And one of those first times was when my boy Toby died. Dobby. I saw the first name. So I gotta go with Dobby.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ellen DeGeneres as Dory, but Dobby is free. Will always be one of my favorite moments of the Harry Potter franchise. So I'm going Dobby as well. Matt, Dobby or Dory?
Dobby. Dobby is not a problematic talk show host. So I'm very Dobby. Also, I mean, Toby Jones is fantastic. I mean, right now off the top of my head, I can't, but his last moment with Daniel Radcliffe in Deathly Hallows Part 1 is fantastic.
Damn it, now I want HBO Max to do a talk show set in the Visiting World with Dobby as the host.
Hi, Dobby is free!
Hello,
Every
welcome to
time there's a guest
Dobby's
on, they're just like,
host.
oh my
I can hear the monologue already. Dobby is free! And tonight we have some great guests joining in.
Jason Isaacs is here. I hope he doesn't try to murder a small boy in a school. Oh, it's just a joke from work.
It's an
I've no
inside
idea.
work joke.
I've no idea where
Oh,
Matt
Creature
Dobby
would
is
be
now
his band
gone.
leader. Creature would be the band leader. He'd be like, Creature hates his job.
Anyway, Aaron, Dobby or Dory?
Well,
Let's
I
just
mean,
pick it up.
aside from Ellen's real personality, I think her personality is Dory is just fucking annoying, quite frankly. Like, I don't like her in Finding Nemo. Like, and this is outside of anything personal. For years, I don't like her in Finding Dory or in Finding Nemo, and I like Finding Dory as a film. It's just unfortunate that she's the lead of it because I just think she's annoying. I think her performance in other stuff has been fine. Like, it's not her as an actress. It's just that performance I'm not fond of. I've always said Dobby is one of the most underutilized things in that franchise. Like, I get why his stuff got cut from the books, but I wish they'd used more of him in the intermittent films between introducing him and murdering him. So it's got to be Toby Jones.
Manning, Dobby,
Dobby
or Dory?
is a cut for time elf.
Oh no, Dobby.
Oh,
No, it would have been Dory for me because I do love Finding Nemo and I think what she does, although I feel bad saying that now because
hashtag
How
cancel
problematic.
Manning.
how problematic Ellen is as a person.
That
Money.
fish, that
I
fish is
think
not
Late Night with
problematic.
Big Three is taking her time
Money.
slot.
Yes.
I
Who
think
do
you
you
can
want to
hide
take
that.
over Gone with the
Just-
Wind once you're gone?
She just wanted to move on because she
I-
wanted new creative structure.
You know what? Abe makes a great point. Well, too late now, but I would have actually changed my vote now to Dobby mainly because I want him to take over Gone with the Wind instead of Ellen. So yes, you're right.
Oh, what?
I'm kidding.
Why are you going to?
Malcolm's adjusting the score, so it's correct.
Well, I was putting your vote for Tim Allen onto the. Not that it mattered anyway, but
Oh,
but
Tim Allen
next
vote.
up we've got Douglas Rain as Hal
Ooh.
9000 from 2001 up against Brad Bird as Edna Mode.
Ah,
I'm gonna start. I mean, I haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey completely yet,
All
but I
seen
have
that
seen
oddity.
various clips of HAL 9000. I do like the Murderous Robot, but Murderous Robot has no capes, and I'm going Bradford for Edna Mode. Matt, HAL 9000 or Edna Mode?
Brad Bird is incredibly funny in both of the Incredibles movies, particularly Incredibles, of course. I mean, the no capes monologue to where she just goes through ways these heroes have died because of their capes. And then one of the best moments is when she's trying to get Helen the courage to go out, and she's like, "You are Elastigirl. You go, you find them, you fight, win, and then come back and visit Dine. I love our little chat." It's like, it's great, but Douglas Rain has just like this eye. I mean, it's one of the greatest villains. It goes up there with like Mr. Potter and Nurse Ratched as just the villain performances, which so little. And what's great is like it's intimidating without trying to be Christian Bale's Batman. Like Christian Bale's Batman to be intimidating was like, "Where's the freaking trigger?" Whereas HAL 9000 is just like, "Hal, open the pod bay doors." I'm sorry, I can't do that. Like, it's so, every time I watch 2001, it just gets under your skin in a really creepy way, to the point to when like I first got a phone with Siri, I was like, I don't want to talk to you, man. Like, thank God they gave Siri like a notice, because Siri sounded like HAL 9000. This chuck out the window. I gotta give it to HAL 9000. I'm
Aaron,
sorry,
HAL 9
Malcolm. I can't vote your way.
HAL 9000 or Edna Mode?
While Brad Bird is great as one of the first androgynous animated characters we've ever had, HAL 9000 is, I mean, it's iconic for a reason. I think what Matt said is exactly correct. He almost speaks in like this soothing, like in any other context, he's reading you a bedtime story, but in the context of what that character is in the film, it's one of the most intimidating fucking things you've ever heard. HAL 9000.
Meaning HAL 9000 or Edna Mode?
This is the part where, I mean, I guess this isn't too much of a secret. I have never finished 2001: A Space Odyssey. I get 15 minutes in and I'm like, not today. So
it's intimidating.
Yes, it is. It's just, you have to make sure you're like,
I can't do that, Kubrick.
I can't do that, Kubrick. Not right now. And I just haven't gotten back to it just yet, because for
the only
Kubrick
Kubrick I do for fun is Eyes Wide Shut.
I mean, the only Kubrick I've ever done.
Thank you.
Doctor Strangelove, guys.
Oh, true. I've never seen it, but I've heard it's great.
Oh, that's the one I love. I've watched that more. I've watched that 3 times in comparison.
Which one?
Doctor Strangelove.
Doctor Strangelove. No, I could totally look. I am. You guys know. Aaron. I'm such a sci-fi guy, but obviously, when it comes to Kubrick, I'm a 2001 person. So.
I'm going to go with Edna Mode based upon that fact, because I think it's also a great bit character that has that also has genuinely a great vocal performance. So I'm going to go with Edna Mode.
Which means it's all on Abe. Abe, HAL 9000 or Edna Mode?
He listens to the Spanish version of HAL 9000, so it's like, go!
I know that was racist.
I don't know.
Abe,
what do you think? Abe, I'll let you make that decision.
Culturally, but not racist.
I would try to make a New York accent, but there's no way.
You have to try. Try it, Abe.
Just do your Vinny impression, and there you go.
That was no, I won't try. I need to start to be put in the mode of like speaking English without my Mexican thing, and then no, I won't do it. I had no more just to fuck with Matt.
I respect it.
That's great.
All pretense to performances drop.
Me and Abe are friends.
Next up, we've got the only person to pop up here on this tries, James Earl Jones as Mufasa up against Josh Brolin as Thanos. Matt, I'm gonna start with you.
I really like Josh Brolin's Thanos. I think some of the obviously not the same degree that I said for HAL 9000, to where like he doesn't really like. I mean, obviously he has his moments, but he doesn't really like shout a lot. Like he is one of those great characters to where it's like it's kind of Jabba the Huttish, to where it's just like I already know I'm the most fucking powerful person here, so I don't need to like sit there and kind of show it. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's great when he has that scene with Ronan the Accuser when he's but James Earl Jones is Mufasa. I mean, it is commanding, but he also has those great, sweet, tender moments with Simba. And I mean, it all comes down to the speech when he's in the stars, and just like there's something about the way he just delivers those lines to where it's like, "You are the king." It's like it's James Earl freaking Jones. Like, there's a reason why, out of all the cast members to bring back, if you could only bring back one, they brought back him for both the reimagining or remake, whatever.
Aaron, James Earl Jones or Josh Brolin?
Are we basing this off of just one interpretation of his version of the character, or are we doing it off both?
I'm saying just the 94 version, because I haven't seen
I
the
mean,
version.
whichever way you want to go.
Okay, because this is actually something that's real. I don't like the original Lion King nearly as much as everybody else does. So I wasn't disappointed by the remake. Yes, exactly. I think James Earl Jones is great, but I think for that character, I have to take both interpretations into account. And unfortunately, he sounds like he's on death's door in the remake. He sounds like he's Simba's great grandfather and not Simba's father. And again, it's the nature of casting a nearly 90-year-old actor to voice that character. You shouldn't have done it in the first place, but they did. Whereas I think every time Brolin portrays Thanos, he's playing a slightly different version. Like, I think the way he carries himself and the way that he acts in Guardians is different to Infinity War, is slightly different to Endgame. But I think he does all of them perfectly and never drops the intimidating factor of the character. So I'm actually going to go for Thanos.
Manning, Mufasa or Thanos?
I'm definitely going to have to go for Thanos, because while I think James Earl Jones is great, we also have him on here already. And I think
that's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault. No. I think, but I want to also spread that love around as well too. Also, when it comes to Josh Brolin, the debate comes along the way that it is in fact also a mocap performance, which we can get into that later. Again, Aaron said, I like what you said. It's on the list. We're not going to debate semantics. He's on the list, and I think that what he does, I like better. So I'll go with that.
Abe, James Earl Jones or Josh Brolin?
Look, this. I saw it says Mustaf, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Mustaf?"
What's
Hey,
Google it.
on this bracket,
Mustafa or
there's
something? What is
a letter limit. They won't let me put any more letters.
What?
That's
I'm
weird.
gonna lose my mind here, but there's an animated character with name like Mustafa or something.
Yeah, Mustafa is somebody,
Mustafa.
right?
No,
No,
Mustafa is a planet in Revenge of the Sith.
I know
Mustafa
something
or
of the Star Wars. No, like damn. No, I think I'll go Josh Brolin this too. James, you're getting way too much rock. You're probably gonna go into the finals with two.
But anyway, hey, now I realise my mistake in spelling, but
It's okay. Mustaf was a great character in Coming to America, so it's all right.
but anyway, both of these characters had great cliff moments.
There's no way he came out with this one today. He had to have it.
Okay,
But only
Malcolm.
one survived.
everything that I've said in compared to that.
But yeah, I mean, I love what James Earl Jones did with Mufasa. But Josh Brolin is on a different level with Thanos. And as Manning said, we've got James Earl Jones on here already. And the last one is going to be tough. It's The Rock up against Tom Hanks. Aaron.
What can I say except it's Woody? He's a more iconic performance. Listen, The Rock's good as Maui, but The Rock's also playing The Rock as Maui. Woody is a real character, and over the course of like nearly 30 years of his career, Tom Hanks has executed it beautifully from beginning to end. He's the reason Toy Story 4 works.
Betting The Rock or Tom Hanks?
Oh, Tom Hanks, bar none. That was my introduction to the actor of Tom Hanks, the actor Tom Hanks, and just to see exactly what he could do. And Woody was the embodiment of everything that I imagined Tom Hanks to be. And there are multiple layers to that performance with all four now films. I forgot about the fourth one, but there are multiple layers to that character. It's good. It's just not necessary.
It's not a 10, and that's the problem.
Yes, and I love it. I love him, and yeah, let's do it. Vote for Tom Hanks as Woody.
Abe, Tom Hanks, or The Rock?
Okay. I see what's happening here. Woody is about to get my vote. I don't know how to rhyme in English, but continue.
No, keep it going. We can rap back to my chorus. Keep it going.
You're face to face with greatness and strength. You don't even know how it feels. It's adorable.
It's nice to see that humans.
I'm not good.
Open your eyes. Let's begin. Yes, it's really Maui. Breathe it in. Yes, the hair, the mud. When you're staring at a demigod.
But
you're welcome.
Anyway, I'm going to vote for The Rock. I like Tom Hanks. I like Tom Hanks as Woody. But Woody is also just felt like Tom Hanks playing Tom Hanks. But to me,
Are you a communist?
I just.
That was a
no,
broad statement.
Tom Hanks was going to make it through regardless.
Yeah.
So, Matt, Tom Hanks or The Rock?
I really do love The Rock as Maui. You're Welcome is my favorite song from the soundtrack. Obviously, I listen to it all the time. I think it's fantastic. But Tom Hanks as Woody throughout all four of the movies, even though I'm not really that big a fan of Toy Story 4, he's fantastic. And even all the like Toy Story shorts and everything, he's always been great as that character. And you know, Woody's a difficult character to walk because like if you play it the wrong way, like particularly in that first movie, he's just like a real dick and an unlikable character. But Tom Hanks finds that balance to where you're like, he plays it like Big Brother, who baby brother just showed up, and now he's not the only child, and like you believe it, and you feel for Woody, and Tom Hanks is just like one of the most lovable people in the freaking world. That's the reason why,
like in the Boss Baby.
COVID wasn't serious until Tom Hanks got it, and I was like, "Fuck this, we gotta get rid of this."
With that being said, we're on to round 2, and
also, I still can't figure out who the fuck this Mustachio or this Mufasa. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, Mustachio or some. If anyone knows,
Pistachio.
This has just been my search history, like trying to do different variations of this Mustachio. Fuck me, I can't find it.
Anyway,
all right, speed run, boys.
We have speed run through the rest of these. I'm going to go Josh Brolin.
Woody. I'll say Woody.
Aaron.
Woody.
Matt. Betting.
Woody.
Abe.
I love Morning Wood. Woody.
I knew he was going to make a joke about that. I'm surprised.
I was waiting for someone to.
I was gonna say on the last one, Tom Hanks is Woody. The Rock just gave us a Woody, so.
Yourself, sir.
Aaron, Dobby or Edna?
Dobby.
Manning, Dobby or Edna?
Edna.
Abe, Dobby, or Edna?
I thought something really funny.
He's still cracking up with us.
No. Look, I'm just gonna say I will marry Edna, kill somebody else, and I do the other thing to Dobby.
Wait, so you're giving your vote Edna?
You
No,
voted
Dobby.
your wife or your
Dobby.
one-night stand?
Dobby.
I'm going Dobby. Matt, Dobby, or Edna?
Edna. But
Hold up, I don't think we can just pass that. Did you just say you'd fuck Dobby?
You say it. You say
Anyway, Manning, Mike, or Buzz?
We'll go with Mike Wazowski.
Abe, Mike, or Buzz?
I'm gonna have to turn that off. Mike. Mike.
I'm going Buzz. Matt, Michael, Buzz.
Buzz.
Aaron, Michael, Buzz.
I'm actually gonna go Mike.
It breaks my freaking heart, but let's go on. My heart will go on, Buzz.
Darth Vader or ScarJo? Abe.
I killed Darth. I marry someone else. And you know what happens next.
Don't want to.
I knew.
No.
I'm going Darth. Matt,
I'm going
Darth.
Darth.
Aaron, Darth.
I'm not a Star Wars guy.
The phone was finished before I was Darth Vader.
And Manning.
I would have gone Darth Vader.
It's getting really sexual for a bunch of fake characters.
Yep.
Next up, we've got Cliff Edwards.
Aaron, you may never want to go on the internet ever.
Matt, Donkey or Jiminy Cricket?
Never.
Donkey.
I used to know bronies, okay? I know how weird it gets. Donkey.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of rules, but just never check out the 34th.
Aaron, Donkey or Jiminy?
I love Jiminy, but Donkey.
Manning, Donkey or Jiminy?
I'm an old fart. I would have gone with Jiminy.
Abe, Donkey or Jiminy?
Donkey hurt. Donkey. I have many. I still can keep going.
Yeah, you're.
Jesus.
Mark
is so-
Hamill or Jeremy Irons? Abe, Joker or Scar?
Oh, nice.
Going to Scar.
I'm going Joker. Matt, Joker or Scar?
Joker.
Aaron, Joker or Scar?
Oh, God damn it, Joker.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Spanish. I'm just doing it because we're doing speed round, but that is
I would have done Scar mainly because I find Joker to be more of a TV than a movie. So, but that's
Massive
yeah.
Phantasm, man.
I know, but
Phantasm. And Killing Joke too.
Yeah,
but I
it's
don't
tough.
like to talk
It's
about
tough.
that movie.
Alright. Vin Diesel, Andy
Look,
Serkis.
I'm getting
Manning.
outvoted, but Iron Giant.
Aaron, Gollum or Iron Giant?
This has nothing to do with the list, but I think Caesar's better than Gollum. But Gollum.
Manning.
this will be the last one I do because I do have to head out to get ready for bed because I got to get up super early in the morning. So I think Gollum. And with that, I gotta head out, guys.
We can do
Yeah,
more
The
of you.
show's on pause.
Thank
so,
you.
So no
Look at this.
plug anything.
My show's on a brief hiatus while we recoup from everything, and also you can find me right here, Cine_Man. That's CINE_MANN. Love you all. Mwah. Kisses all around. Goodbye. Jeff Goldblum over here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
Good thing, man. That's it.
Manning, bye-bye. I like how Manning is an adult and is like, I have a job tomorrow, so I have to go to bed. Whereas I'm like, I'm staying up until midnight to pre-order a 4K Blu-ray for
To be fair, I also have a job in the morning, but I don't have to be there until 9:30 instead of 8 a.m. So
lucky. I got to be there an hour after midnight.
Anyway, Abe, Gollum or Iron Giant?
I don't have a ring to show you, but I will give it to Colin.
I was gonna say we have to be careful now because now there's
Yeah.
it can go 2 and 2.
Well, I mean, if
Then,
it
yeah.
ties the one that's the highest.
Oh, the highest.
ranked
Okay,
one.
we'll just do that.
Genie or Isma, and I'm going to start on this. Genie, Matt,
Genie, I think Genie's gonna win this whole thing. I'll just say that right now.
Aaron,
Sarah Yzma, you're out the trap door.
Damn, you're
Abe,
cool, Aaron.
Abe.
I think he's frozen. Yeah, he's not.
No, he's trying to rub
I
his
think
magic lamp to get his genie.
Frozen.
All right. Next up, we've got Robin Williams, Genie versus Gollum. Matt,
Genie.
Aaron,
Genie.
Abe,
Abe, just write it in the chat. Just
Yeah, he said Yzma previously, so he's able to go through the chat if he can hear us.
yeah, if he can still like hear it and see what it is.
Malcolm, who do you go for?
I mean, I'm going to do Chaos because I was going to go Gollum.
I knew, like I said, is that a little red dot on the top of your head there, Malcolm?
No, that's the checks he's still earning from The
I
Hobbit,
think-
Lord of the Rings.
I mean, I think Abe is kind of in the circle, so
Yeah.
Eddie's
Oh,
disappeared.
okay. So I guess we move on. Genie.
But Genie, I mean, Genie would move on.
At
Like-
this point, this show is almost as long as the runtime of Armageddon. So, we should
I mean,
really-
it was going to be one of those ones. Even if Abe was to go Gollum, Genie would have moved on because
Yeah,
Genie
because
would
Yeah,
have
he's
won.
higher.
he's higher.
Are we at the final 8 now? Yeah.
Oh, this is
Joker or Donkey. And I'm going to start on this. Joker. Matt.
I love Eddie Murphy, but it's Joker.
Aaron.
I got Donkey.
Abe, Donkey or Joker?
Donkey.
Fuck.
So that means Donkey moves on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that bullshit.
That's incredible.
How Donkey? You know what? That's because half of these people sit there and they're like, "Hey, Mark Hamill was doing Joker in the TV show." It's like Mask of Phantasm and Killing Joke would like to speak with you.
I knew one of those movies was actually good,
Good.
and it wasn't Mask of the Phantasm.
Whoa, you think Master of the Phantasm's bad?
I'm gonna. We
I'm
don't
not a
have
big-
time
I'm
to
not a
get
big-
into this, but I'm gonna beat your ass off air, Malcolm.
I mean, I've explained on many different things on why I'm not a big fan
That's
of Mask
fair.
of the
I've just never
Phantasm.
heard of it. That's cool.
Never mind.
Anyway,
We'll talk off air.
Aaron, Vader or Mike Wazowski?
Emperor's bitch.
Abe, Vader or Mike?
Mike Wazowski.
Are you
I'm
voicing
gonna-
the kid in the show?
Yeah, I think that's the best impression I can do.
Mike,
Matt, Vader or Mike?
I'm gonna give it to Mike just because my favorite Vader Fuck me.
I'm good.
I'll just say, whatever.
Vader moves on either way. So
Vader
don't
was
feel
gonna
too
move on
stressed.
anyway, regardless. So whatever.
Don't feel
I
too
love them
pressed.
both. That was a little bit too close for comfort for me to vote on.
Dobby or Woody? Matt.
Woody.
Dobby or Woody? Aaron.
Woody.
Dobby or Woody? Abe.
Woody. You have to draw a line. In my stupid.
And petticoat for Dobby.
I mean, I would have gone Dobby over Woody any day.
That's
Listen, Dobby lasted
Oh,
more entries in this tournament than he did the Harry Potter film, so that's an achievement.
Next up, we're in the final four.
Oh, here we
Vader
go.
versus Woody.
Shit.
I'm going to start on this one.
Shit.
Vader. Matt, Vader or Woody?
Oh fuck. Vader. I'll give it to Vader.
What, back Vader? I mean,
I'd give it up for that lightsaber.
Okay, I got a thing for like robotic parts. Who knows what you can do with those? Huh?
Listen,
and the
it may
Force.
be burnt. It may be burnt, but he's tall and black, so it's got to be decent.
I mean, he may be very badly burnt, but
What?
anyway,
Christensen was a white person.
but Aaron, Vader or Woody?
I actually got to go Woody.
Abe, Vader or Woody? I
Yeah.
didn't
Look.
I didn't hear you say anything, but
No, but like, this is hard. This
Yeah,
one's
this
hard.
is
Truly, it's hard.
Would you say
that's
it's
what
a
she
Woody?
said.
Yeah. Well, damn.
They're both
I'm
good
think-
for different reasons.
I am on fire right now. Just
Woody
like
made me cry. Woody.
Which means Woody is going to move on
Yeah.
regardless.
I'm sorry. Darth Vader is great, but
Okay.
But Woody's going to be up against
Oh,
Donkey or Genie.
I can't believe the
Abe.
top four actually made it to the final
Yeah, that's
four. Can I just say?
hilarious.
I think that's the reason why they're top.
Wait, who are you asking, Malcolm?
Abe, I think
Abe.
he said.
Oh, Abe.
Donkey
Okay.
or Genie.
I will say donkey. Because I said it from the beginning.
But I'm going Genie. Matt,
I
Donkey or
said from
Genie.
pretty much the beginning. Genie. Rob Williams.
Aaron, Donkey or
There's-
Genie.
It's-
Genie. It's tough. I
Wait,
love Eddie.
is our last match literally the number one, number two?
1 and 2,
That's-
yeah.
Fucking great.
But yeah, I'm going Genie. Matt, Donkey or Genie.
Gotta go Genie.
Woody or
He had-
Genie.
He had way more of an impact on my life. I gotta go Genie.
Aaron, Genie or Woody.
Well, Genie's already won technically, so I'm gonna go Woody because they're both fucking great.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, but honestly, like this being our top two, like even if these weren't number 1, 2, like this is apples and oranges. Like they're both
Yeah,
incredible.
and Abe, Genie or Woody.
I
Just
just want
Woody.
something
Fun of it.
terrible again.
No, Woody. No. Like, I already burned a lot of my.
Oh
I hate how easy it is to come up with these horrible, horrible jokes.
Not talk about cum.
But
You say come?
No, it wasn't about cum. I was gonna say the Genie won our hearts in the contest, but Woody won our assholes.
That joke reminds me of. Have you ever seen the Vine where the kid's like, anal with my girlfriend made my whole day, but it made her whole week. I apologize.
You're gonna get an infection with that shit. Literally.
All right, let's plug so we can get out so that some of you can
I
go to
don't know how I'm
sleep.
going to find it.
I'll stop making dirty jokes, Malcolm. Promote what you need.
But
Yeah.
but that being said, I might actually run that bracket through the Facebook group, see if that changes any of the round 2 matchups, because this was only just 5 of us. There's a lot of people in that
Yeah,
group that
definitely.
do
Yeah,
this.
I feel
So
like it'd be
obviously,
interesting.
I'll be. Yeah, this is definitely one that I'll be interested to see if that changes.
Yeah, I would
anything,
do. I do a bracketeers thing for it, 100%.
Yeah. But that being said, we've reached the end. It was longer than what I anticipated.
That's what you said.
Jesus.
Aaron, where can people find you online?
You know, I can apply to
All
two
right.
things.
It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let me act professional. Thank you so much for bringing me on. It was great. It was great to come on. I'd love to come back if I haven't sealed my fate already. You guys can find everything that I do over on TMG Entertainment. If you enjoyed all of the awful things I said tonight, I say more of them on After Dark, which is our weekly show on Saturdays. I'm also the direct host of Schmo Talks, which is a Schmo Down interview show. I've been on hiatus for the last month because I'm editing a special project together for the show that is pretty much complete. Once I actually get it in the can is when I'll announce it and the show will go back up. But I've been pre-recording episodes the whole month, so there won't be any issues once it's up. It's just I've been waiting on finishing the edit. And then also something that Malcolm himself is competing in and Manning actually used to compete in. I am relaunching Movie Battleground, which is a movie debate show over on TMG Entertainment. As I said, Malcolm will be a current competitor. Manning used to actually compete in it back in the day. So if you guys like watching people debate movies, check us out when we relaunch this summer.
Abe, we can be find you online.
You can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamL25, where I give Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again, and Shrek 2 Love all day, all week. So if you want more content of that, you can follow me there.
You can also find them eagerly anticipating that Pamela Anderson miniseries.
Dude, did you throw away that newspaper? I thought you were going to send it to me.
I don't even have your address saved.
I mean,
I will send it to you.
I mean, Lily and James and Sebastian Jen look really great. I'm actually looking forward to that as
Like,
well. So.
I legitimately said when those new pictures came out, I was like, if they're acting, which they're both really fantastic actors, if it's half as good as their makeup, that thing's winning like all the Emmys.
But Matt, where can people find you online?
You guys as always can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovies611 on YouTube, and right here as host of the Fandom Podcast. New episode just went up today. The topic was Star Wars with my guest Manning Franks. We had a lot of great conversations about our favorite moments. We got into a conversation about the themes of family throughout all Star Wars projects. And there is also, if you the video is on the channel, but there's also the audio link you can find. It's on Anchor. You can find me on Spotify and all those except for Apple. For whatever reason, they don't like me. And I also host another show called Second Look. New episode is in production right now on 1990s The Hunt for Red October. So keep your eyes peeled to the Take 3 page and all the other things for when that comes out. Also, you can find me at my computer when I should probably get in sleep, but trying to order a Blu-ray for Transformers.
Can I ask you a question? Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you out. Does these things actually sold out like really fast? Like you have to buy it like right away, or?
The problem is for whatever reason, because I pre-ordered Big Trouble in Little China from them, but for whatever reason, there's no like pre-order page. So I'm afraid that since there's no pre-order page, because there's only a limited quality for them, so I want to just make sure I get one because I missed out on their Blu-rays they did like 2 years ago. So I just want to make sure that I get this. So that's
Sorry, Malcolm. I just had that.
It's all good.
He's like, I just want to learn why Matt's a fucking loser. That's I just want to care.
I go
But anyway, you can find me. You can find me on Tape 3 Productions, where I host Rankum every Saturday. This week is going to be top 12 movies directed by an actor or actress. You can also
Wait, what is the topic?
top 12 movies directed by an actor or an actress.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
You can also find me hosting Late Night. I am going to make the decision. I'm going to make Late Night a bi-weekly show. Just because it's a lot of effort to try and get something together within a week. So I do want to make it bi-weekly. It's just
Malcolm, look, I'm just saying, you do bi-weekly, but I'm just saying for this ranking thing, you already got Rocky 2, 3, 4, Balboa. You're all set with
I mean,
the top
if
four.
you want on to try to argue all those.
A Star is Born. A Star is Born. A Star is Born.
Barbara
But
Streisand directed the original?
Anyway,
No, Brad Pitt.
you could also find me.
Tell me something.
You can also find me over on Full Metal, where I host Full Metal Classic every Sunday.
Or do you
What do you need more? Is there something else you're searching?
Let me.
You can also find me over on Full Metal, where I host Full Metal Classic and Full Metal Random. This week's Full Metal Random is on Brooklyn Nine-Nine Trivia with Jay Burns taking on Caleb Coho, taking on RJ, taking on Jake Marangoni. So it's going to be a
I love it when a bunch of guys just take on each other on the internet, especially in Brooklyn.
I'm
that being
falling. You know the good times I
It is
find
late.
myself
Everyone's going to
longing
be
for change, and in the bad times I feel